Hey, chat, welcome. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day or night, whatever. We do have 9 shorts to watch on his story, so that's what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna watch her story, so that's what we're gonna do, chat. So it's gonna be tough, alright, guys? What's up, you're Pookie? What's up, Ben? What's up, Blue VR? What's up, Lando? I do have hiccups, though, because I don't know. I breathed hard, and then now I just have, like, a really bad cough and hiccup, so, yeah. But, let's start watching this man.
My Uncle Tom's face scrunched up when
What the hell?
Uncle Tom's face scrunched up when I asked for a water break 2 hours into photographing my cousin's 7th birthday party, dizzy and dehydrated under the sun. I'm not paying you $20 to drink water. The party's only 4 hours. He grabbed my cake plate out of my hand later that afternoon. You can eat after the job's done. I stood there swaying slightly while he checked his watch, and my hands were still shaking from hunger by the time he pulled up his phone at the end of the party to show me a fitness influencer.
Bro, what?
Sir, I need these photos edited. Make my wife look like this. I nodded, thinking
What?
I could survive 1 more week of him before I never had to work for family again. I sent him 20 cleaned up photos that week. That's no good, he texted back within the
Bro, what? Are we serious?
hour. Make my wife skinnier. Give her more curves. Why?
Uncle Tom. Chat, why is Uncle Tom being like this? What's up, Sherry? Shout out to Blue VR. Got you, bro. This guy's being
hips,
rude.
Smaller waist. Make my arms more muscular and remove my brother's Rolex from the picture. Make sure I'm the best looking guy in every shot. I stared at my phone, stunned. This will take weeks, I typed back. Then work faster. I need these by tomorrow. I really needed the
Bro,
money
what? This guy he's working for is so rude, bro.
for college, so I spent all night
Like,
hunched
come
over
on.
my laptop, frantically editing the photos. Then one more text lit up my screen. Oh yeah, make me the tallest person in every group shot.
Bro, what? Now he wants to be the tallest person. What?
Something in me finally snapped clean in half. I called an emergency family meeting the next day and connected my laptop to the TV. I'm done with Uncle Tom's BS, and before anyone judges me, let me show you why.
Shout out to
I pulled up his
Oscar.
texts and the before and after photos, which included edits
What the hell?
of him stretched taller than his own brother, his arms bulked up, and his wife's
Holy, what the hell?
body reshaped into something she'd never recognize. My aunt stood up slowly, staring at the screen with her hand over her mouth. That looks nothing like me. Were you lying when you said I was perfect
Shout out
just
to
the
It's
way I
Ben.
was? Uncle Tom shot to his feet and pointed at me. You had no right to show those messages, I laughed. And you had no right to treat me like garbage for
Dang, bro got roasted.
20 measly dollars. That same night, my aunt grabbed his phone off the counter and found him setting up dating profiles using the edited photos he'd demanded.
That's a
Every
car.
screenshot became evidence in her divorce filing 3 weeks later. My Uncle Tom's
Dang.
Logan slammed $1,000 on our dorm
$1,000? They were floating hard on him.
table. Tomorrow, we're all going to the airport with no money, and the one who can get to the furthest country wins. It's a college competition. I immediately signed the sign-up sheet because my mom had never left the state before, and this was my chance to make her dream of going to Disneyland come true. I clicked the pen and grinned. May the best man win.
Give her the hiding gift.
Next morning, all 5 of us walked into LAX with empty wallets, and Logan lifted up 3 fingers. We start in 3, 2, 1. I sprinted for the airline counters with money on my mind. Please, I need a
Only $1,000, yo. That's not that
free
much.
flight to win a competition
That's
for
a
my
team.
mom. You got me, right?
Marful.
The agent laughed at me. Right, and I'm looking for free Jordans because I don't want to pay for new shoes. You got me, right? He was making fun of me, so I frantically searched the airport because I knew I needed a new strategy. A woman 2 seats down propped her giant suitcase against the charging station and answered her
Holy.
phone. Yeah, Mom, I land in Dublin tonight. Love you. My entire face lit up because I knew Dublin was a city in Ireland, and it was 5,000.
Ireland. Thank you for the $10.
Can you give me a shout out?
Tornado Boy. Shout out to Tornado Boy. Thank you, Tornado Boy, for the $10 donation. W. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Tornado Boy. Thank you for the 10.
miles away.
W.
She headed for the bathroom without her suitcase, so I dumped her clothes into my backpack, folded myself inside, and pulled the zipper shut with my teeth. 10 minutes later, I was swinging through the terminal, slamming into every doorframe in California, while I was curled up like a pretzel.
Gold coin. Thank you for the $10 though, you're goated.
Grunted and rammed me into an overhead bin with my knees in my eye sockets. By the time I climbed in, the group chat was already flexing. Logan posted a selfie from a party bus to Mexico, and I grinned because I thought I was going to beat him. The engines roared, the bin rattled, and I fell asleep picturing my mom standing outside the Disney castle holding a giant cotton candy.
They were the hiding gift.
Thud woke me up, and I was certain 16 hours had passed, and I was on a whole new continent. The second the bin clicked open, I exploded out with both fists in the air and screamed,
yes,
I won. A
bro
flight
made
attendant
it.
Dropped her clipboard, and the suitcase woman screamed louder than I did. Then the pilot's voice came through the speakers. Welcome to Dublin, one of the most beautiful cities in
Bro, what? They were the hiding gift.
California, folks. Flight time today was 45 minutes. My face
Yo, chat, my bad if I have hiccups.
Fell because I thought we were going to Europe, but we hadn't even left the state. When security grabbed me to walk me out, I made a request. If you guys arrest me, can you at least put me in a jail in Argentina so I can win my
Argentina
competition? Logan's. I cracked my knuckles while loading up my League of Legends game. I only had 10 minutes until my bedtime, and was only one win away from hitting Diamond, so I wasn't letting anything stop me. I typed in my login faster than ever, then the two-factor authentication code, and when the terms and conditions box showed up, I quickly hit accept and leaned in to get ready to destroy.
Guys, like the stream and subscribe.
12-year-olds. But suddenly, 3 men stormed in wearing black.
Oh, nah. Bro, they got the lawyers
and dark
here,
sunglasses out of nowhere. But the game was about to start, so I was determined to keep my eyes on the screen. But one of them unplugged my monitor, so I was forced to stand up and find out what was going on.
I mean, of course, like, there's random people in your house. Like, what? They were the Uncler Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the Uncler. Thank you, Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy, bro. Thank you.
What the hell? Who are you? Another started wrapping up my wires without saying anything. I immediately turned around and saw my little brother standing in the corner, smiling. I knew he had something to do with this, so I stormed over and grabbed him by the collar. What did you do? He crossed his arms. You're the one who clicked accept. I had no idea what he was talking about, but then he walked me back to the chair, shoved me his phone, and showed me what I had agreed to. One line was highlighted. By
clicking accept, you give your entire gaming setup to your little brother Eli. Nobody is doing that. They were the hiding gifts.
By clicking accept, you give your entire gaming setup to your little brother Eli.
Chat, would you do that? Nah.
I laughed.
I would not.
There was no way this was real. You're 10. You can't own my stuff. He put his hand on his hip and showed me a photo of his empty piggy bank. I know you stole money from my birthday money to pay for all of this, and I just got it back. Behind me, the last guy gripped my chair and pulled it out from under me. I hit the floor. I got up and followed Eli across the hall. My whole setup was glowing in Eli's room. My game was still on the screen.
Bro, the little brother stole his whole gaming setup. That's crazy. Shout out to One Tough Luffy.
One win away from Diamond 1 never got to play, and Eli was
already
in the chair. He loaded into my game, and he played it like it was nothing. One team fight, an ace, and victory filled the screen. Diamond. Eli leaned back in my chair and finally looked over at me. Thought you were gonna destroy some 12-year-olds? Well, you just got destroyed by a 10-year-old. And as I stood—
Oh, damn. They were becoming a member. W Tornado Boy, thank you for becoming a member, bro. W Tornado Boy. Thank you, dude.
There watching myself getting defeated by my little brother who robbed me blind. Some part of me couldn't help but feel impressed.
What? Guys, subscribe if you want a shout out. And feel free to send gifts like laughing discos and also like the stream.
I walked into the doctor's office for a sore leg, but the second he saw me, he decided I needed surgery.
Why? What? They were the laughing disco, Logan. W Logan with the laughing disco. First laughing disco of the stream. W Logan, they were the 6'7" Melissa. W Logan though, thank you.
Got wheeled away with no explanation and was put under while still asking questions. I woke up 10 hours later and saw
thank you for the hiding gift.
Police officers standing
Shout out to Team Marful
around my bed. I tried to move, and that's when I noticed I was handcuffed to the railing. The doctor who prescribed—
Why is bro handcuffed?
Surgery was standing in the corner tapping his foot. I freaked out. What's going on? And the lead detective walked over and pulled out an x-ray taken of my stomach during surgery. I turned to the doctor.
They were the laughing disco S-Swag. Swag with the laughing disco. Thank you, S Swag. W.
Why were you
For the happy
operating on
poop.
my stomach? I have leg pain. He looked around frantically, but the detective immediately shoved the photo in my face. A small rectangle was at my spleen. Your surgeon found this sewn into your abdominal lining. The detective held up a huge bag of fentanyl, 130 grams, a trafficking charge.
Thank you for the hiding gift, Michael. Thank you for the laughing disco. 2B6. W2B6 with the laughing disco. Thank you, bro.
20-year
W.
sentence. My jaw dropped. I've never touched drugs in my life. The detective rolled his eyes, but that's when the surgeon jumped in completely unprompted. Just arrest him already. The evidence is
Nah, what if this guy is a criminal?
clear. I looked at his red face and the sweat on
That's
his
a
forehead
marshmallow.
and wondered why he looked so nervous. The detectives pulled out handcuffs, but that's when I remembered something. I'd had an x-ray on my stomach last week at a different hospital. There was nothing in my body then, but as soon as I said this, the surgeon snapped up. X-rays aren't reliable, he shouted. They probably missed it.
That's Allison.
The detective
They were
looked at
hiding
the
it,
surgeon
Miles.
carefully, then back over at me. We're taking you in. They uncuffed me and cuffed
Bro,
my
I
hand
think it's the surgeon that's a criminal,
behind
bro.
my back. At the station, they kept asking about drugs. I kept telling them I didn't know. And after 5 hours, a prosecutor
Flamingo
told me they
plays.
were filing charges tomorrow. I was looking at 20 years minimum. I didn't sleep at all.
20 years in jail?
And the next morning, the
Or
detective
prison?
who arrested me walked in. He unlocked my cell and placed a binder in front of me. I opened them, expecting to see the charges. Instead, it was official papers telling me I was free to go if I signed here. I did it immediately, asking him why I was free all of a
They
sudden.
were the
And
6'7" Kimberlina. They were the
that's
GLHF.
when he showed me his phone.
Thank you, guys.
Surveillance footage from my surgery, showing my doctor stitching the bag of fentanyl into my abdomen, but also a GPS tracker. The cartel was after him because he has their fentanyl, so he stitched it in you and put a tracker there
Oh,
to
nah.
lead them astray. I suggest
Okay, why would he...
getting it
What?
removed immediately.
L Surgeon. Thank you for the $10. Ava VR. W Ava VR with the $10 donation. Thank you, Ava. W Ava, bro. Thank you, Ava, for the 10.
I was at work
W.
when my boss yanked me into
You're
his
goated.
office by my collar. Bring a real llama to this office in 2 hours, or you're
W.
fired. He grinned because we both knew it was impossible. The
Thank you so
CEO
much,
gets here
Ava.
at noon. There's no way you'll pull this off, so I'll start packing your desk right now. I looked down at my phone, and my lock screen lit up with my 2 dogs. If I lost this job, they'd be on the street with me. I wasn't about to let that happen, so I had 2 hours to pull off the impossible. I bolted out of the office and onto the sidewalk, sweating. There's only one place in New York City with a llama, so I flagged a cab and sped uptown to the zoo. I ran to the front gate and begged the keeper, please, I just need
Please,
to
please. Thank you for the
borrow
gold
a
coin.
llama
Thank you for the $2
What's
prototype.
good? How are you?
I'm doing good, prototype. How about you? Thank you, prototype.
for 1 hour. He
For the 2 W. Thank you for the W, Miles.
laughed in my face. Absolutely not. I only had 40 minutes left. I thought of my dogs living on the street, and I knew I couldn't walk away empty-handed. So I snuck around to the back pens, unlatched the gate, and grabbed a llama by its
We're hiding
throat,
it.
but it
Shout
spit
out
a
to
wad of
Brian.
green slime across my face. Before I could pull it away, a keeper spotted
That's disgusting. They were alive. Let's go, Tornado Boy. And thank you for the
W
$20. Ava. W Ava with the $20. They were the 6-7K Blaze. W Ava. Welcome. Thank you so much, Ava, for the 20. W Ava, bro. And W Tornado Boy with the laughing disco. And Eenie with the laughing disco. Thank you, Eenie, Tornado Boy, and Ava with the $20. Thank you all.
me. Hey, he's
W.
stealing the llama. So I ran, dragging the llama down the street as people dove out of the way. No cab would take an animal, so I hauled it onto the subway. When I got to the office, I threw
Why
open the
does he
door.
have a llama? But they were the $20, Ava. They were the laughing disco. And VR and Giovanni. W Giovanni. And VR. Thank you both. W's. They were 6-7.
But my boss was
Thank you.
standing at my empty desk, grinning, tapping his watch. 1 minute late, you're finished. My heart shattered until a screen
Oh,
ripped
nah.
through the office behind me. I spun around, and the llama had broken loose, trampling desks and
You were the
spitting
hiding
on
gift.
every person in its path. Then it reared back
Ugh,
and
but
launched
the-
a glob
ugh.
of slime right into the CEO's face.
Oh, hell no, chat.
My boss
We're
stared
hiding
in
it.
horror, and a vein bulged in the CEO's forehead as he stormed straight toward us. Who is responsible for this? But the llama trotted to my side
We're
and
hiding
pressed
it,
its head
Giovanni.
against my arm, calm. Before he could speak, I pointed at my boss. He told me to bring a llama, or I'd be fired. The CEO's eyes went cold, and he jabbed a finger at my boss.
Hey.
Your desk. You're fired. Then he looked at me. You can keep your job. And the llama. As I unpacked my photos with my dog back onto my desk, my boss grabbed the llama's rope, and it spit a thick glob of slime across his face. I was at work.
Okay, what is happening? What is happening? Oh. Bro, what? I'm so sorry. Hold on.
I was setting up camp alone in the
That's a
forest
Brad.
when I heard explosions nearby and smoke hit my nostrils. I followed the noise and found a teenager laughing, lighting
What the hell?
fireworks into
What is bro doing?
the trees, filming himself on a tripod, live on TikTok. This is going to go so viral, but the forest was bone
Chat, what do you think he's doing?
dry, and one spark could burn the whole thing down. Stop! You're gonna start a fire. Relax,
Shout out to
bruh. I
Tiffany.
know what I'm doing. Then he lit another.
He does not know what he's doing, bro.
And the firework arced
What?
out, landed in a bush, and flames tore through the leaves.
Oh my god, yo. I wouldn't even do that. They were 6'7". That's too much,
Balls
bro.
dropped because we had minutes before
nah.
the forest went up in flames. I stomped at the flames, screaming for the kid to help, but he swung his camera toward the fire, grinning. Yo, this is even better content.
Bro. What? Shout out to Gloria.
I need more fire. The fire climbed a tree
Chat,
behind
this is insane. What is happening?
and families came sprinting past, coughing and screaming, dragging their kids from the smoke. I looked back and saw my own tent swallowed in flames, everything I owned gone. I yelled, "Is going viral worth this?" I grabbed his arm.
No, they were the Uncler Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the Uncler. Thank you, Tornado Boy. And thank you for the $20, Ava.
Welcome once again.
Ava with the $20 and Tornado Boy with the Uncler. Thank you both. Ava and W Tornado Boy. Thank you.
Pull him out.
Thank you, Ava, for the 20 though, Ava. Ava.
But
Holy.
he yanked away. You don't
W.
get it. I have to
You're
do
lying
this.
us.
And he stepped toward the fire for a better shot. The smoke was so thick my eyes burned and every breath
Oh my
became
God.
shorter. If I didn't run now, the flames would swallow
They
me.
were the clutch Deadpool. They were the jamming gift, Josie. Josie with the jamming gift. Thank you, Josie.
Too. So I turned
W.
to run,
Josie.
but a burning
But
tree
W.
cracked and
Ava.
crashed down behind me, and through the flames I saw the kid's arm shoot up, a hospital wristband on his wrist, as he screamed for help. My body screamed at me to run, but my feet wouldn't move. I couldn't let him
You
die.
gotta save him. Chad, do you think he should save him or no? You think he should just let him die? I mean, I would save him. Shout out to Turtle Boy. They were the jamming gift. I eat many noodles. I eat many noodles. Thank you, bro.
So I turned back and ran into the flames. I grabbed his arm as he cried, a hospital band melting against my palm. I picked him up as I ran away from the fire and I yelled, "Why would you do this?" He lifted his shaking
Shout out to
wrist,
Clay.
tears streaming. "My little sister
Shout out to
has
Noah's
cancer.
Ark.
They told us if we don't get money for her treatment soon, she'll die." He looked down. "I just don't want her to die. I'm sorry." My throat closed. But before I could respond, firefighters and police charged in. "You've got the little arsonist who did this for views.
Oh,
Criminal.
nah.
We saw his live," an
They
officer
were the
yelled.
press F. They were the jamming gift, Josie. Josie with the jamming gift again. Thank you, Josie.
But the kid just lowered his head as they slapped cuffs on him. Everyone would
Oh,
call
nah.
him a monster, but I knew the truth. I was setting up camp. I went
That's
to a
crazy, chat.
Marriott ballroom for econ extra credit and ended up running from a man in a three-piece suit calling himself Maximus Masters. Noah signed our names
Bro,
on the
what?
extra credit sheet and pushed open the doors. Free steak and a grade bump. I'd sit through my own funeral for that. A woman in a navy blazer was on us before the doors swung shut. "Welcome, future entrepreneurs. I'm Crystal." She slapped name tags on our chests that read "Guest of Honor"
Oh,
and steered
nah.
us to the front row with
They were the live. Let's go, Fanny. And they were the jamming gift, Josie. Fammy and Josie. Thank you both for the live disco and jamming gift.
the hand on each
Thank
of our
you.
bags. "Where's the bar?" Noah asked. After the presentation, Crystal sang and disappeared into the
Thank
crowd.
you so
60
much,
people
guys.
sat around us, wearing the same wide smile, staring at an empty stage. Nobody was talking. "I don't see anyone from our class," Noah whispered. "Maybe we're early." "Dude, the room is full." The lights cut out and techno music shook the floor. 2 fog machines fired smoke across the stage, and a man in a 3-piece suit walked through it.
Guys, subscribe if you want a shout out. Let's hit 151K. Come on, chat.
Damian Williamson 6D wants to tell you something.
They were the $10, Ava. Okay. Is Damien here? Wait, Damien. What do you want to tell me? They were the jamming gift, Stephanie. And Ava with the $10. Thank you, Ava. Holy Ava. Thank you for the 10. They were the W. How do you subscribe? There's like a button on the top. Ava and Stephanie. Thank you both. W.
With his arms over his head. "Who wants to be financially free?" The room exploded as people shot out of their seats, pumping fists. We didn't move. "Is this
That's a
extra
Gorilla
credit or a
Tag
hostage
fan.
situation?" Noah whispered. For 40 minutes, Maximus paced the stage, ranting about yachts
Hiding
and
it.
cellular metabolism powder. Slide after
What?
slide behind him of him holding stacks of cash. A guy 2 rows back stood up sobbing about how he used to work at Subway.
Thank you for the $2, Tornado Boy.
Check out the I'm So Lonely funk.
I'll see if I can. They were hiding if Goofy a Goober. I think I know what you're talking about. I'll see if I can. I might get copyrighted though. They were the $2 just Tornado Boy. W.
Noah said. I nodded and started to stand, but Crystal materialized behind us. Leaving? You haven't seen the compensation structure. She pressed down on my shoulder. Sit. We sat. When it finally ended, she pulled out an iPad and asked which package spoke to us. We're just here for class credit, I told her. Her smile
were the hiding
cracked. You're
gifts.
scared of success. People like us retire at 30. The whole room turned to watch. Maximus walked over, sweat soaking through his collar, and put a hand on each of our shoulders. Gentlemen, let me introduce you to the man who changed my life. The fog machines kicked on again. An older man in a white suit stepped through the smoke onto the stage. Noah's hand clamped around
Shout out to
my
Bryson.
forearm.
Shout out
Dude,
to
that's our
Sela.
prof. Professor Jacobson smiled at
Celia.
me from the stage. The same wide smile Crystal had. The same smile the subway guy had. The same smile
Oh,
every
nah.
single person in that room
Why is everybody smiling? They were the Laughing Disco Ace. W Ace with the Laughing Disco. Thank you, Ace. W Ace, bro. Thank you, Ace.
had been wearing since we sat down. He tapped the microphone twice. Welcome, gentlemen. Let's talk about your extra credit. We ran.
Not the
I
obs.
went to a Marriott ball. I went to a... The moment
They were the high five, I eat many noodles. They were the Laughing Disco Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the Laughing Disco. Thank you. And thank you guys for 151K. W. W. Shout out to Cole.
I heard Dad snoring. I crept downstairs and took his motorcycle keys.
Shout out
I
to
was 13
Jessica.
and had been binge watching videos of motorcycles hitting 150-mile speeds and desperately wanted to ride one. My dad's Kawasaki Superbike sat in our garage while he cleaned it every night. I asked him, could I ride it? But he laughed and said, this thing is my baby
were the
and you've
chili.
never even driven a car. You could die, or even worse, destroy my bike. So one night, I had enough and snuck out. My heart was pounding as I pulled the
That's
covers
a
off
Carter.
the Kawasaki. I started working the keys, but I couldn't turn it on. Finally, I twisted the handlebar, and the motorcycle lurched forward way too fast for me to control. I
Oh my
twisted
gosh.
the brakes, and it slammed to a stop so fast I
Holy.
went flying. I hit the pavement and bruised my elbow, and through the window, I saw my dad getting
Why did bro steal his dad's motorcycle? I don't understand that.
out of bed. I instantly panicked and jumped back on the Kawasaki. I twisted the throttle and slowly took off, turning out of the driveway before he could see me.
Shout out to Jacob.
My heart slammed
That's a
and I
Rachel.
gripped the handlebars so tight my knuckles turned white. But then I hit 20 on the speedometer. The bike still wobbled, but I was gaining control. I felt the wind in my hair and laughed, ready to go faster. But then two guys blocked the road ahead. I twisted
nah.
the brakes to slow, trying to look cool doing
Do
it.
you remember me from yesterday?
Yo! Yes, I do. Shout out to Matthew. WAR2 Gaming with a 10, bro. Yes, I remember you from yesterday. WAR2 Gaming. Thank you for the 10, bro. WAR2 Gaming. You're goated, dude. Thank you. WAR2 Gaming.
But they immediately grabbed my collar.
Thank you.
What's a little squirt like you doing with a Kawasaki?
You're
They
goated,
ripped me
bro.
off and threw me to the ground, and my heart dropped as they started climbing on. No, wait, that's my dad's.
That's
I
a
reached
Nat
for the
Cat.
bike, but their
WAR2 Gaming,
hands were
though.
already on the throttle. See, you never
Shout out to
checked. They
Space
took off,
Games.
doing at
Yo,
least
they just
80
stole the
immediately. I put
the
my head
motorcycle.
in my hands and sat on the curb crying. How would I ever tell this to Dad? I walked the 10 miles home, legs shaking because Dad spent his life savings on that bike. When I walked inside, Dad was already awake at the kitchen table, pacing with his arms above his head. Someone stole my bike. I gulped and slowly waddled over. ready
It
to
was him. They were the hiding
confess.
gifts.
But then I saw the newspaper on the table. 2 teenagers die in a motorcycle crash on a stolen Kawasaki. Photos of Dad's motorcycle and the 2 teens who took
Give
the
her a
bike from
thumbs
me.
up.
I covered my mouth in horror as Dad grabbed the newspaper. They deserve to die for stealing my bike. Whoever steals my bike deserves to die. 2 hours later, the
Oh.
the
Yo, why did I do that?
and the 2 teens who took the bike from me. I covered my mouth in horror as Dad, the officers returned the bike.
They were the loot box. Allison. Allison with the loot box. Thank you, Allison. Shout out to Sandboy. Allison. They were the hiding gift artist block. Allison. Shout out to Droff. Thank you, Allison, for the loot box.
Its front end completely caved in. I watched Dad hug his Kawasaki in tears and snuck upstairs. I'd never tell him the truth. The moment I heard Dad, I took my son to the carnival for his birthday.
Thank you for the $2. Tornado Boy. Shout out to Tornado Boy with the
Coca-Cola
2.
Puma Delta Trum song.
What the hell? Bro, what? I don't know. Shout out to Fast. They were the 2 though, bro.
And when I asked what he wanted, his answer wasn't what I expected.
were the
With a
two.
huge smile, he said, "To save people, Dad." I kissed him on the forehead for being a sweet kid, but then a scream ripped through the crowd.
Oh,
above us.
nah. What the hell? They were the Laughing Disco Alana. Alana with the Laughing Disco. Thank you, Alana. Alana.
The Ferris wheel burst into flames, and everyone erupted into chaos.
Oh my God.
As fire rained down on us. I grabbed for my
Holy
son's hand
chat.
to run, but the stampede
Where's the hiding
slammed
gift?
into us and ripped him away from me. I screamed his name, spinning in every direction, but all I could see was smoke and fire. An alarm
my
blared
gosh.
through the smoke, and as I ran, my foot caught on something. My son's little jacket trampled and singed. My heart slammed as
Yeah,
I
get the
snatched it up and
jacket.
shoved my phone in every
Wait,
face I
what?
passed. Have you seen this boy? Please, I need to find my son. No one stopped. They just streamed
Oh,
past me
nah.
toward the exit.
He lost his son in the carnival. They were alive. Let's go, Alana. W, Alana with the live. Let's go. Thank you, Alana.
It's
W.
guided by firefighters. Then a firefighter's voice tore through the smoke. Everyone out now! The Ferris wheel's about to collapse. But a woman grabbed my arm and pointed toward the flames. That boy? He ran that way, screaming at everyone. My whole body shook.
Oh,
If it
nah.
collapsed, it'd kill him. So I ran straight toward it. The heat
Why
seared
would
my
they were 6'7" Aaron?
skin, but I didn't stop until the Ferris wheel buckled and crashed down.
Oh
on
my God. Oh nah. Chad, do you think the son is dead? They were alive. Let's go, Alexander and Alana. W, Alexander and Alana with the live discos. Thank you both. W's. W, Alana and Alexander. Thank you.
on me. A beam slammed across
It's
my legs,
actually
and
W.
I screamed as the flames burned through my sleeve into my arm.
Oh
I
my
dropped
gosh.
against the ground, sobbing. My son had wished to save people, and I couldn't even save him. My vision blurred. Then I felt hands
They were
clap
the hiding
around me
gift.
and pull me through the smoke. Firefighters laid me on the grass and strapped an oxygen mask over my face as I cried, certain my son was gone. But then, through the haze, I saw a small figure in a
W.
firefighter's
Wait, what the hell?
jacket walking toward me.
They were the $2 Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the $2. Thank you, bro. You are my son. What? Wait, is the son a
I
firefighter?
thought I was hallucinating until
You
my
are
son
my
dropped to his
sunshine,
knees
my only
beside me,
sunshine.
safe.
Hell,
An oversized firefighter suit swallowing his body. A firefighter knelt next to him and gripped his shoulder. Your son pulled the fire alarm and helped us evacuate everyone. He even told
W.
us you'd still be inside looking for him. He didn't get ripped away from the crowd. He left to save everyone. My son beamed
W.
at me. My wish came true, Dad. Best birthday ever. I took my son to the carnival for his birthday.
W. W.
The moment
W
I took
kid,
my
bro.
son to the carnival for his
Alright. We finished all the new sorts of his story, so now we're gonna watch her story. Okay. Okay, wait. Chat. I wanna ask you guys something. Hold on. Type 1 in the chat if you want me to watch her story, and type 2 if you want me to watch just regular YouTube shorts. Which one do you guys prefer? We're gonna watch her story for now, but yeah. 1. They were the hiding gift. 1 or 2. 1, 2, 2. I think it's like a tie. Okay, I'll see if we can watch normal shorts after this. Okay, chat.
A
They were
kid
the
I'd
hiding
never
gift.
seen sprinted up my
Dookie.
steps while I was on my
Poopy
porch
dookie.
and screamed that my house was about to blow up.
W.
My dad's a gas engineer. I hear a leak. Let me in your house so I can fix it. My brain froze up. I didn't trust a strange kid coming into
Yeah.
my house, but I couldn't risk it blowing up. I slowly said, okay, and opened my door. We
They were
walked
W.
in, and I immediately heard the quiet hit.
Yo, Nacho Kyle. What's up, Nacho Kyle? Hey, man. Yeah, wait. We're early to this video. What the hell? Nacho Kyle is in the chat. How are you doing, Nacho Kyle?
Hissing sound he was talking about, then gasped in horror. Where's your
What's up,
boiler room?"
bros?
I pointed upstairs, and he immediately started climbing. I followed him,
H
and my
again.
chest froze up.
They were the $2, Ava. W Ava with the $2. Thank you, Ava. W Ava, bro. You're doing good. Nice, Nacho. It's good to hear, bro.
As the hissing got louder.
W.
Every
Ava.
instinct told me not to follow a stranger
Hello.
deeper into my own house, but I was too scared to stop now, so I kept climbing. He reached the top and rushed toward the boiler. Hurry! This thing is seconds from blowing. I ran
Oh,
after
nah.
him, my heart pounding so hard I could hear it over the extremely loud hissing.
So the kid was telling the truth.
He dropped down
So
beside
they
the
all
boiler
might be
and grabbed a
cooked, bro.
valve. This is it. He twisted hard, and the hissing stopped immediately. The whole house went silent, and relief hit me so
They
hard
were the
my
hiding
legs
gift,
nearly
Clay.
buckled. Oh my god, thank you. You saved my house. I dug into my purse to give him something, but he just waved his hand. It's all good. Just keep an eye on it. and
Y'all
probably
have that one
Yo,
time
they
where
were
that laundry machine
$5.
always finishes and we always dance to the song.
Y'all have that one? I do. I know what you're talking about. Like that sound after the laundry machine. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I have that, bro. I have that. W Tornado Boy with the 5 though. Thank you, bro.
call someone to check it out. I nodded and thanked him as he jogged down the stairs. But then he dropped a piece of paper from his pocket before sprinting out. I picked it up with shaking hands and got ready to chase after him. But then I looked at the paper and my stomach dropped. There was never a leak. That hissing sound was a speaker in my pocket that I turned up as we climbed. You were so scared you left your door unlocked, so my friend let himself in while you watched me twist a useless valve. Maybe this'll teach you not to trust strangers. My hand flew to my mouth and I spun around. My TV and my laptop were gone, and the jewelry box by the window had been cleared out while I stood one floor above thanking the robber. A kid I'd never seen sprinted up my
W.
I caught my daughter leading
They were
3
stars.
cows into our back garden at 2
3 cows. What the hell, bro?
a.m. I rubbed my eyes.
2 a.m.
I
too.
thought I was dreaming, but then 2 of her friends
What?
followed with a goat and a wagon of chickens. I
What the hell?
immediately grabbed my robe and marched outside.
Are
But
we
as soon as
serious?
They saw me, they tried to cover every animal with blankets. My daughter stood in front of the farm animals with her arms wide open. Nothing to see here, Mom. One of the cows mooed under the blanket, but her friend Nora raised her hand. That was me. I like to moo sometimes. Moo! I scrunched up my face and grabbed my hair.
Bro, what?
What the hell is going on? My daughter grabbed my hands. Okay, Mom, I swear I'll explain everything. Just follow us. I needed to know what was going on, so I followed her and her friends down the street until we made it to a grassy path. At the end was a barn that looked torn apart and reeked of manure.
Oh, nah.
Gizmo pointed at the beautiful house.
Is the farm like
beside
broken
it.
or
That's
something?
where the farmer sleeps. He's a light sleeper. So
Give
you
her
have-
6-7 Lori. Guys, subscribe if you want a shout out. Let's see if we can end the stream off with like 152K maybe.
Be quiet. I nodded silently, and my daughter put her hands on the barn door and turned to me. Cover your face. Inside.
How are you
dozens
still
of-
awake? This has been on for 4 days. No, it has not. Shout out to Sawyer. Bro, you just... This is a new stream. What do you
cows
mean?
were
Shout out to
packed into
Damien.
stalls that were so small they could barely move. At
my
the back
gosh.
were horses that looked like they hadn't eaten in days. Gizmo pleaded, "We found them weeks ago. Whoever the owner is doesn't care about them." Nora nodded.
Yeah.
We called animal control twice. Nobody ever came. I stared at the horse's ribs and rolled up my sleeves. We're taking
To
all of them
K-Blaze.
tonight. I knew we could get arrested for this, but I didn't care. We spent all night leading as many animals as we could to my back garden without waking the farmer, and by sunrise, my garden looked like a petting zoo. We sprayed the animals down with a hose, and they threw themselves back on their hind legs as if they were thanking us for freedom. My daughter and her friends started dancing with them when a truck screeched and the farmer climbed out, phone already in his hand. You think I can't follow
Oh,
his
no.
fence? Those animals are mine. He dialed 911. Police, I want to report a theft. I was ready to take
Fudge.
full blame, so my daughter...
They were the Uncler Franklin. W Franklin with the Uncler. Thank you, Franklin. They were 6-7 Benny. Yo, I just messed up. I messed up real bad, chat. Okay, anyways.
and her
Thank you for the Uncler, though, Franklin.
wouldn't be arrested. The officer walked up to the animals and examined their sores and chain marks while the farmer pointed at us. They're thieves. Arrest them this instant. But the officer turned to him, handcuffs already in hand. Sir, why are your animals so underweight? He shrugged. They're my property. I keep them how I want. The officer put the farmer's
That's
wrists
a
behind his
Roy.
back. He called the cops on us. They arrested him instead. The officer asked if we knew where the animals could stay.
We're
and
6'7".
my daughter grinned. They've got
Benny.
somewhere. I caught my daughter leading 3 cows. I boarded my first class flight and sat in my assigned seat when a woman in a hoodie that said Army Wife stopped at my row with her husband, who was in full military uniform. That's going to be my husband's seat. I told her it was my assigned seat and she laughed. My husband just got back from an 8-month deployment, so he deserves to be more comfortable than some person who probably doesn't even pay taxes here. I hadn't seen my mother or my sisters since I moved to America from the Philippines 2 years ago and had been working 60-hour
They were the
weeks
hiding
just to
gift.
afford this seat,
Jenna.
so I wasn't moving. A flight attendant appeared and asked if I would consider moving. Absolutely not. The woman threw her hands up. My husband has killed people for this country, and this immigrant won't give up a stupid seat for him. Her husband touched her arm. Babe, come on. She shook him off and put her finger in my face. People like you come here, take
Bro, are we serious?
jobs, and sit in first class while actual heroes fly in the back like cattle. My hands were shaking, but I kept my voice steady. I worked 60-hour weeks to afford this trip.
They were
and I
the-
deserve to be.
Thank you for the jamming gift, Nasla. Nasla with the jamming gift. Thank you, Nasla. Nasla with the jamming gift. Thank you.
Here. She leaned in close. 60 hours doing what? Cleaning houses? Then the pilot
W
appeared in the
National.
aisle. What exactly is going on here? The woman saw the captain and instantly switched to a sweet voice. Captain, this woman is refusing to give her seat to my husband who just returned from serving overseas.
Are we serious right now? This is over a chair, by the way. A seat. They were the jamming gift, Stephanie. Stephanie with the jamming gift. Thank you, Stephanie.
Pilot looked at her. Is this your assigned seat? She blinked. Well, no, but she should
That
give it
was
to
a
us.
John.
The pilot pointed toward the back. You've got 10 seconds to find your real seat or I will have you removed and banned permanently. She gasped. My husband is a soldier. The pilot didn't even blink.
That doesn't
9,
even
8,
matter.
7. She grabbed her husband and dragged
That's
him
a
toward
Roy.
Connie, screaming. A few rows started clapping and I heard her shriek one last time. Oh, sure. Clap for the immigrant. That's just perfect.
What?
I
Question
thanked the
for you,
pilot,
how are
put my
you?
headphones in.
Yo, they were the $2 Tornado Boy. How am I? I'm doing great, bro. They were the hiding gift, Jenna. Thank you for asking. W Tornado Boy with the $2. Thank you, Tornado Boy. W.
And spent the next 14 hours thinking about my mother's face when she sees me finally walk through her door. I boarded my first class flight and a car swerved around the corner going right at my son, so I shoved him out of the way and took the impact myself.
Oh my gosh.
But when I woke up in the hospital, I couldn't feel my legs, and my son wasn't next to me. I screamed, "Where is he?
Shout out
What's
to
going
T
on?"
Eagle.
A doctor quickly told me I was
for
paralyzed
the hiding
from the
gift,
waist
Isaiah.
down, and that's when a woman in a suit dropped a stack of papers into my hands. "Your son is alive. I'm his foster agent. Due to your injury, we've deemed you unable
out to
care for him,
Brenda.
so we've placed him into a loving foster home." My chest went cold, and a sharp pain tore through me. "You can't do that." "We can." She smiled and pointed at the papers. "Here's everything to fill out to apply to reclaim your son." She walked out without even telling me where he was. I wheeled myself home 4 weeks later, and the house felt so empty without my boy, I started crying. But I pulled myself together and filled out every form, double-checking every requirement 10 times before clicking submit. But 2 minutes later, an automated AI rejection
Thank you
email
for the
came.
hiding
I
gift, Jenna.
cried, realizing I was never going to see my son again. 2 years later, I was rolling down the same street I got hit on, mourning the loss of my son, when something caught my eye. A little boy was curled on a corner,
Oh
shielding himself
nah.
from the
You
rain.
were the hiding gift. Guys, subscribe right now if you want a shout out. Let's hit 152K, maybe even 153K. That would be
I
insane.
immediately rolled over, and my whole body started shaking. It was my son. I tapped his shoulder, and he lifted his head. "Mom," he started crying. "Can you take me in? My foster family dropped me on this corner and drove off 3 days ago." My throat closed up as he continued. "I contacted my foster agent to take me back to you, but
Oh,
she
nah.
said you were disabled and couldn't take care of me."
You were the
My
6'7"
chest went
Tornado
hot, and
Boy.
I couldn't sit there another second. I grabbed both armrests and pushed with everything I had. My legs shook, but
Shout
my
out to
love
the
for my son made me
independent
stand up from my chair
achiever.
for the first time in 2 years. I pulled him into me and sobbed. "I've got you now. Nobody's ever
We're
taken
hiding
you
gift,
again."
DJ
When his
Gaming.
agent rang my doorbell, I didn't even answer the door. A car swerved around the corner, going right at my. The lunch lady dropped a tray of gray spaghetti in front of me. Gray meatballs
You were the hiding
sat in a
gift,
puddle of
Christopher.
orange
Ugh, look at
grease.
that.
It was so disgusting, I couldn't take eating the
That's
cafeteria
ill.
lunch anymore. Under the table, I opened up DoorDash and ordered orange
DoorDash. Well, okay, why are we opening up DoorDash? Though?
chicken from the Panda Express. My friend beside me saw what I was doing and smiled. "You're right. I'd rather break the rules and be big back and order food from DoorDash than get food poisoning from this cafeteria." On her phone, I saw her ordering nacho fries from Taco Bell.
Nacho fries.
Soon, every student in the
You were the hiding gift, Jenna.
cafeteria was secretly ordering food. No one cared about the rules anymore. A few minutes later, I walked to the front gate where the delivery driver was already waiting on the sidewalk through
Oh,
the bars.
nah.
But the principal showed up out of nowhere. His
Oh,
arms
hell nah. The principal's here.
folded while smiling. "You're the 4th student to try and do this week." He reached through the bars, took the bag right out of the driver's hand, and tore it open. He pulled open the box of chicken and started dropping them on the floor, one by
Okay, that's just rude.
one. He popped
Come
one
on.
into his mouth while looking right at me.
Okay.
"Cafeteria's still open, sweetheart. You know the rules. No outside food during school." Another driver pulled up with another bag for the kid behind me. The principal didn't even open it. He just stomped on
That's the
it.
epic storm.
Burger sauce
Oh
sprayed
my
across
gosh.
the concrete. The kids
You
stared
were the flower.
at the wet stain and didn't say anything. Kids drifted to the cafeteria windows, faces pressed against the glass, all watching to see what would happen next. I pulled my phone out and ordered again, right in front of him.
Are
He
you
paused.
serious?
2 weeks detention for anyone caught ordering today. "Bro, I'm a woman who's hungry. If I don't eat soon, all hell will break loose."
Oh, hell
I
nah.
tapped confirm on my order. Behind him, drivers kept showing up for
What?
other
They paid
students.
for that?
I have an
Exactly.
Oreo cloud latte from Dunkin'. I have a cookie dough cookie from Crumble
Cookie dough
Cookies.
cookie.
He kept grabbing them and throwing them into the
L principal in the chat. This principal is like
trash until the
crazy.
final driver came. "What now?" The driver looked down at his receipt. "Principal Harley, I have a double quarter pounder with extra pickles and a large Coke." The cafeteria went silent. Then someone started laughing. Even the principal hates the cafeteria lunch and breaks the rule. I walked through the gate, took the bag from the driver, and took a bite out of the burger. "I'll be confiscating this. Rules are rules, sir." He stormed off, and he hasn't returned to do his job since. The lunch lady dropped a
W.
tray of Grace. My boyfriend told me to wear something nice to his cousin's engagement party, and I was convinced he was about to propose. We'd been together 3 years, and everyone kept telling me today was the day. Jordan was nervous the whole drive there, kept checking his phone, and asked me 3 times if my parents were definitely coming. When we walked in, both our families
Oh, hell nah.
were already sitting together, and every one of them turned to me like they were waiting for something. I sat down next to him with my heart pounding and waited. Halfway through dinner, the DJ turned the music down and
Guys, subscribe if you want a shout out.
Jordan
Please,
stood up and
guys,
tapped
if
his
you
champagne
want.
glass with a fork until the whole room went quiet. My mom reached over and
They were the
grabbed
flower,
my
Jenna.
dad's hand while his sister pulled out her phone to film. He turned to me and said, "I have something important to say," then got down on one knee and pulled a small black velvet box from his jacket. My aunt was already crying 2 tables
Oh, hell
over,
nah. Shout out to Bunny
and my
Lover.
hands flew to my mouth because after 3
Oh, hell
years,
no.
this was finally happening. He held the box up in front of everyone and opened it, empty. He burst out
That's a course
laughing so hard he
place.
could barely stand. "It's a prank, babe."
Oh, hell nah. That's crazy. They were hiding it. Oh, hell nah.
TikTok challenge. Look at your face. His sister zoomed
That's
in on me,
crazy. Give her a W.
and his cousin doubled over while
That's
I stood there
insane.
with my hands still covering my mouth.
That's
My
a
mom's
counter.
face went from the happiest I'd ever seen her to completely
Give her the
horrified,
W.
and my dad's jaw was clenched so
Okay, why does this guy have gray hair? What the hell? Shout out to Tiffany.
tight I could see it from across the room. Jordan kept waving the empty box around, showing people like it was a
It's
trophy.
crazy.
I put my hands
Shout out to
down and
Asher.
said, "We're done," and the laughter stopped. I picked up my purse and walked straight out the door, and he followed me to the parking lot, still
hell
trying to
no.
tell me it was just a joke. I didn't turn around. 2
That's
weeks later,
not.
Jordan knocked
Chad,
on
do you
my
think
door.
that's a joke? I don't think so. Shout out to
And
Brandon.
when I opened it, he was standing there holding flowers and the same black velvet box. He said his sister posted the video and it went viral, that he was going to propose for real that night but chickened out, and that he'd take it all down if I gave him another chance. I took the box from his hand and opened
I
it.
mean,
There was a
give her the Go Trophy, Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the Go Trophy. Thank you, Tornado Boy. Bro, that's a $10 gift you sent. W Tornado Boy, bro. You're goated. Shout out to OZ Gen Bros. W Tornado Boy. Thank you for the Go Trophy. You're actually goated.
the ring
W.
inside. I closed it, put it
That's
back
a
in his hands,
WWE.
and said, the answer would have been yes
Thank
2
you.
weeks ago. Then I closed the door. My boyfriend, I handed the hotel concierge a note that read, "My boyfriend is planning on killing me tonight. He's a cop." The
Oh, nah.
concierge didn't
Never
even
hiding
blink.
it.
You two will be in
W
room
Tornado
414.
Boy, though.
Let me get you 2 sets of keys. He leaned forward. We'll only need 1. This man had put me in the hospital twice and fudged the police reports both times. He threatened to frame me for drug charges if I ever left him, and got his partner to go along with his lies.
Shout out to
The
Vicky.
concierge ignored him, typed into her computer, then handed me a spa coupon and blocked his hand when he tried to grab it. "That's ladies only, sir." He grinded his teeth as I pocketed it.
Thank you for the W Pinata. So they were the 6-7. I don't know. W Tornado Boy with the W Pinata. Thank you, Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy, bro. Thank you for the Pinata. W Tornado
We
Boy.
reached the elevator. I need to use
Thank
the restroom.
you.
He grabbed my arm. Use the one up in the room. I
W.
jerked free. I've been holding it in since we landed. He owned me using fear, and if I wasn't courageous now, I'd be dead by morning. Besides,
Thank you for the air travel, Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the air travel. Thank you, Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the air travel gift too. Thank you.
there were too
W
many people
Tornado
around,
Boy.
so he couldn't force me. In the lobby bathroom, I read the bottom of the spa
Give her the
coupon.
W.
Go out through the restaurant kitchen. I'll meet you out back. I read it 3 times because part of me had stopped believing anything could go right, but I had nothing left to lose. I walked out, shoved him out of my way, and
Oh,
took
nah.
off running. He followed. I cut through the kitchen.
Oh, hell no. Thank you for the Uncler, Tornado Boy. And thank you for the clutch. You still send another Uncler. W Tornado Boy. Thank you, Tornado Boy. W, bro.
Past confused waiters
Thank you,
and
bro.
bussers. The concierge was waiting at the back door, waving me through. We made it to the alley and started rushing toward her car. Then a door swung open ahead of us, and he was standing right in front of us. He tried to reach for
You
me,
were the
but
clutch.
the concierge stepped in his way. "You need to back off, sir." Whack. He hit her so
Oh my
hard she
gosh.
was unconscious before she hit the ground. I quickly grabbed her car keys from her limp hand, ran away, made it to the car, and cranked the engine. An arm crashed through the window and grabbed my throat. I bit a chunk out of his hand and floored it.
Holy,
He
what
was
the hell? They were the clutch. They were the clapping seal shark. W Shark the first with the clapping seal. Thank you, Shark the first.
half hanging out of the window, clawing at my face. He was reaching for the keys with one hand and choking me with the other. Then I saw headlights coming straight at us. I thought about every broken bone, every police report with my name on it, and every night I was terrified to fall asleep next to him. I stopped caring what happened to me, swerved directly into the oncoming car, and boom, his body
Holy.
catapulted through the air and landed hard on the asphalt.
R.I.P.
His
in the
spine
chat.
nearly snapped in half.
Holy.
And he was instantly paralyzed from the neck down.
Yo.
By some miracle, the other driver and I were completely unscathed. I walked over and looked down at him, trembling on the street in a contorted heap.
Yo, Tornado Boy with the 200. Yo. Hold up, hold
For the
up.
first time
Let's
in
just
3
finish
years,
this.
I actually
Wait.
felt safe. I changed
Where's the
my name
marshmallow
and
high?
moved to London,
Fortune.
just in case
W
his cop
Fortune.
buddies wanted to come after me.
Yo. Tornado Boy. I did not. Yo. Thank you for the $200. W Tornado Boy. This guy is going crazy. I'm going insane with this. You are. Yo. W Tornado Boy
I'm
in the
going
chat.
insane with this.
Everybody spam W. I don't want any hate. I want everybody to spam W for this man right here. This guy just sent $200. Let me check how much money we got from the stream right now. Oh my gosh. W Tornado Boy. I'm sorry that I'm yapping, but I can't. Yo, Tornado Boy. Holy, bro. Oh my gosh. We gained so much from this stream. W Tornado Boy. Yo. Spam W's in the chat for Tornado Boy. Thank you for the marshmallow high, Fortune. Thank you, dude. For the $200. You're actually insane. If you do something else for that, yo, you're like the top donator of the stream. W Tornado Boy. There's a 13 hiding gifts. WMHA fan. Thank you so much, so Tornado Boy. W man. W dude. Thank you, dude. Holy.
Yanked my niece out of the pool, and my sister
Oh my
yelled, "What is wrong
gosh.
with you? Let her play." And I said, "Nobody's watching this pool. She could drown, and none of you would notice."
The
but
goat.
She grabbed her daughter back. She'd be screaming and splashing if she was drowning, so I'd hear her. No.
Oh, we already watched this. My bad. W Tornado Boy, though. They were the shout out to Carrot Guy. Everybody, subscribe if you want a shout out. But W Tornado Boy with the $200. I never expected somebody to send that much money out of all the streams I've been doing. The most I've gotten was $300, but that was a long time ago. So that's like a holy. Thank you, dude. W bro. Alright, let me find a short that we can watch. But W Tornado Boy. Holy.
My teacher snatched the note I was passing out of my hand. Do you think Terry likes me? No one moved a muscle because we were all sick of her doing this. Whenever Mrs. Whitley caught a note, she'd stop the whole lesson, walk to the front, and read every word out loud in a high-pitched voice. No one could stop her because she was the adult and we were the children. But that night in the class group chat, my friend texted, "What if we embarrassed her for once?" Everyone liked the message. And the next morning, I wrote a note saying 6-7 and
6-7.
purposely held it up so Mrs. Whitley would see it. She snatched it out of my hand and read it to the class, trying to embarrass me. 6-7. But when she realized it wasn't embarrassing, she awkwardly moved on. Terry wrote the next one and waved it around until Mrs. Whitley walked over. Mrs. Whitley's face went red as she read it to the class. Cody,
thank you, Tornado Boy, though. They were the thumbs up,
I
Nosh.
can't stop thinking about your eyes. They remind me of a sunset over the ocean. Every time you walk by my desk, my heart skips a beat. 3 minutes later, my friend passed a note, and Mrs. Whitley didn't even make it to the front before she started reading. Last night, I had a dream where Mr. Pender from third period came into my bedroom and taught me about anatomy. She stopped halfway.
What?
Her eyes kept moving down the page. Someone in the back yelled, "Keep going!" Her face went red as she quickly crumpled
That's a
the
Rebecca.
note, threw it in the trash, and pointed at the door. Class dismissed. Now, we walked out laughing so hard we were crying. The next Monday, Mrs. Whitley started class, and I passed a note right in front of her. She looked at it and didn't say anything. Turns out the adult in the room was the easiest one to embarrass. My teacher. I was cleaning out my
Where's the Shayla?
grandmother's house when I found a love note to my granddad taped behind a photo frame. But when I looked closer,
Guys, subscribe right now if you want a shout out. Shout out to Joseph. Let's see if we can end the stream with 152K.
I realized the first letters of each line spelled a message. The man I married is not who you think. If you see this after I'm dead, look inside the piano.
Thank you for the $2, Tornado Boy. You like my stream, so that's why I did the 200.
Like your live stream.
That's the
So
Eli.
that's why I did the 200.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you, Tornado Boy. I won't forget that, bro. Shout out to Patrick. Dude, you're rich, Tornado Boy. W, Tornado Boy. You're goated, bro. W.
I was in class when Jenny yanked my beanie
Thank
off
you.
my
Oh, my
I was
bad.
cleaning I took the note with me and snuck past my granddad.
I mean,
The first letters of each line
thank
spelled
you.
a message. The man I married is not who you think. If you see this after I'm dead, look inside the piano. My mind went blank. Grandma lost her mind a few months before her death, so this was like crazy rambling, but I decided to check it out anyway. I took the note with me and snuck past my granddad, and when I opened the piano, I indeed saw an envelope. Inside, there
They
was
were
a
the clapping seal. Weird kid forever. W, weird kid forever. With the clapping seal. Thank you, bro.
note in
W.
Grandma's handwriting. He's
Shout
been
out to
poisoning
Scene
me.
Kid.
That's why I'm losing my mind. If you find this, call anyone but your mother. She helped him. My heart
We're the hiding
literally
gift.
sank. Was this real? Did mom and granddad kill grandma? I tried to think clearly, but then suddenly a
What?
sharp, nauseous stomach pain hit me, and my arms went jelly. I thought back to earlier when I drank granddad's tea. I needed to know what was going on for sure.
You were
So
the
I went
GG Easy
downstairs acting normal
Nashla.
as I could. Granddad offered more tea, but just as I was about to say no, the doorbell rang. My mom walked in and hugged me and smiled, but her eyes didn't move. She said she was here to help us pack, but when she walked away, I noticed she wasn't packing at all. She was opening drawers, cabinets, checking behind furniture, almost like she was looking for something specific. Sweetheart, did you find anything Grandma left for you? I shook my head, but my stomach was getting worse, and I was turning pale, so I decided to sprint to the bathroom and lock the door. I opened the medicine cabinet and started emptying
You
pill
were the jamming gift Cammy Bots. W Cammy Bots With the jamming gift. Thank you, Cammy Bots.
But in one of
W.
them, I found rolled up letters. I opened them and realized they were love letters between my grandmother and another man. She was having an affair during her marriage with Granddad. My jaw dropped. I was so dizzy I had to sit down, and on the bathroom floor texted my sister photos of everything with a message. Send police and an ambulance to Granddad's house. I think I've been poisoned. I planned to just head out to the front and wait for the ambulance. But when I walked downstairs, Mom was waiting for me, holding the photo frame. Honey, are you sure you didn't find anything behind this frame? I was barely able to shake my head by now. That's when I felt a buzz in my pocket and quickly looked down. My sister's text, police and ambulance will be there in 5. I almost cried because I didn't have 5 minutes. Suddenly, Granddad came into the room and he sat me down in a chair. We need to talk about your grandmother. I was too weak to reply. Mom said, such a shame she had to go. And Granddad pushed another—
Give her the live disco, Hamza. W Hamza with the live disco. Thank you, Hamza. And thank you for the $2, Mayday.
I respect the hustle.
Thank you, bro. W Mayday. Thank you for the 2, bro. Thank you for saying that message. And W Hamza with the live disco. Thank you for respecting the hustle, bro. Appreciate it.
cup of tea toward me. You
W.
killed Grandma, I said weakly. He simply shrugged. You made this way harder than it needed to be. Then he stood up and grabbed my arms, pinning them to the chair. I was too weak to fight it. Mom pulled out a syringe from her bag, the same color as the tea, and walked toward me. The tea from earlier won't kill you. It was only supposed to stop you from finding anything, but you still did. Now we have no choice. I saw my mother raise the syringe above her head and closed my eyes. I had no strength left. I waited for the needle, but I never felt it, and instead, I heard screaming. I opened my eyes. Mom had jabbed the syringe into Granddad's arm. He was shouting, reaching for her, but then collapsed on the floor. Mom kneeled beside me, crying. I'm sorry I'm a monster. I've hated myself since the day I helped kill my mom. I had to do this so I could live with myself again. The front door burst open, and police and paramedics flooded in.
Oh my gosh.
They treated me while my mother held her hands out.
Thank you for the $2, Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the 2.
Have you ever watched Fairy Godparents?
No, what the hell is that? Thank you for the $2, though, Tornado Boy. What is that? What?
Out for cuffs. I was in class when Jenny yanked my
Oh, hell nah.
beanie off my head, exposing my bald
What a
scalp
way
and
to
chemo
start the
scars
story.
in front of everyone. Oh my god, you look just like Lex Luthor, she laughed. I immediately started begging her to give the beanie back because I had been battling cancer and was self-conscious about my bald head. But she held the beanie up high so I couldn't reach and kept calling me Lex Luthor while everyone laughed. I looked at the teacher for help, but she said Jenny was just playing around. Jenny smirked,
What?
realizing the teacher was on her side, so she threw my beanie to another girl who threw it
Bro,
to another girl,
what?
and they passed it around the room while I sat at my desk crying. I went home
That's
and
crazy.
told my mom everything. She looked me in the eyes and said, I'm gonna tell you something about Jenny, and tomorrow you're gonna use it. She told me Jenny's parents were in a nasty public divorce, but that wasn't what she wanted me to tell Jenny. She leaned in and whispered the things she wanted me to tell Jenny. My eyes went wide.
Thank you for the GG keys. Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the GG keys. W Tornado Boy. Thank you, bro. W Tornado Boy. At this point, just send $500. No, I'm joking. W Tornado Boy, though. Thank you for the hiding it.
And I asked if I could really
Holy.
say that. She grabbed my shoulders and said,
Thank you, bro.
if she bullies you tomorrow, you're going to tell her that. The next day, Jenny yanked my beanie off and said, plotting to destroy Superman today, Lex? I stood up and got ready to say what my mom had whispered to me the day before. Jenny, your parents are getting divorced because of you, and neither of them wants to keep you. Jenny's face turned
my
red,
gosh.
and her eyes filled with tears. She dropped my beanie and ran out of the room sobbing. The teacher heard everything and called my mom in. When my mom arrived, the teacher told her I shouldn't be insulting
Okay, L teacher, though. They were the
other
W.
kids, and that Jenny was just stressed about the divorce. My mom said, my daughter isn't a punching bag, and Jenny's not my problem to manage. She stood up to leave and said, honestly, I feel
Thank you for the $2, Tornado Boy. Thank you for the
Send
GG.
500. Bet tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Yo! Shout out to Katarina. Yo, Tornado Boy, you're actually the GOAT. You don't have to, but dude, you're like the top donator of my stream. W Tornado Boy once again. I'm not even trying to glaze. This man is the king, bro. Thank you. Holy.
feel sorry for whichever parent ends up stuck with her. I was in class when Jenny yanked my
Do I
mom
like Michael Jackson? Sure. Guys, subscribe if you want a shout out. Let's hit 152K. Come on.
looked me in the eyes
Give it
across
a
the
GG.
Christmas dinner table and said, I'm going to rank you kids and tell you why you're not the favorite. My older sister rolled her eyes. I kept eating. Nobody stopped her. Rank 3 was my older sister because she always needed money for emergencies. My older sister's hands started shaking around her wine glass. I asked you to help me pay for my son's open heart surgery. Mom waved her off. Rank 2 was me. Mom said I'd married a man who couldn't hold a job for more than a year, and the only reason I stayed was because I thought I couldn't do any better. I gripped my napkin under the table and didn't say a word. Rank 1
Holy, keep subbing up. They were the flower. Careless Colin. Shout out to
my
Maddie.
youngest sister because she was the only one who cared about family loyalty. My youngest sister's face crumbled. Tears hit her plate. Mom, please stop. I watched my baby sister sob into her food and stood
Shout out to Tina White.
Now, we're going to rank your best moments
Shout out
as
to
a
Gary. Shout out to Felix.
mother. Mom's mouth opened. I didn't let her speak. Rank 3 was my older sister's 16th birthday. You spent the entire party telling her everything wrong with her face. My older sister started nodding. Rank 2 was my college graduation. You whispered through the whole ceremony
hiding
about
it.
how fat I looked in my gown. Mom slammed her hand on the table. I have sacrificed everything for you three. She turned to my youngest sister. Tell them how good a mother I am.
I mean, I don't know.
To you. My
That's
youngest
a
sister stood
Zev.
up. Her hands were shaking. Rank 1 was the week you had laryngitis and couldn't speak. I prayed every single night that week for God to take your voice away forever. Mom's mouth
What?
opened, but no sound came out. Looks like God finally answered my prayer.
Shout out to Romina.
My mom looked me in the eyes across. My parents stood in the kitchen holding plane tickets. We're leaving for a week. Don't call unless
Shout out to Mrs. Davis. Shout out to
someone's
Silas.
dying. When they came back, their house was a crime scene.
Oh
She
my gosh,
handed
what?
me a schedule for my siblings. Lola, who's 2, Angel, who's 4, and Benny, who's 6. I'm 12. No, you can't have anyone over to help. Don't call us if you're overwhelmed. Dad looked up from his phone. Don't ruin our vacation. If you can't handle this, maybe you need
Tell everyone to
Thank
say
you for the
W what I'm
$2,
doing.
Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy in the chat. Spam W's for the GOAT Tornado Boy. This guy sent $200. He sent so many gifts. W Tornado Boy, bro. Thank you.
special
For the
education.
2.
Day 1 started with Lola
W.
throwing up at 6 a.m. While I'm cleaning vomit off
Ew.
the carpet, my phone rings. It's Grandma, Dad's mom. She's at the hospital. She needs emergency surgery tomorrow. She sounds
Oh,
scared.
nah.
She asks if I can come sit with her before they operate.
Yeah, spam W's.
I tell her I'll try.
They were the
even though I
W.
know I can't leave 3 kids alone. I call Dad. He declines. On the 4th try, he picks up. What part of "don't ruin our vacation" wasn't clear? I explain about Grandma. She's being dramatic. She's fine. He hangs up. Day 2. Grandma calls again, crying. The surgery got moved up to this afternoon. She's alone and terrified. Meanwhile, my parents posted a photo from a yacht with champagne glasses. I tried calling Mom. She left me on red. Day 3, the hospital calls. Grandma's surgery had complications. She's asking for family. I can hear Grandma crying in the background, asking why no one came. I tried Dad one more time. This time, Mom answers his phone. I'm blocking your number right now. You're a manipulative little brat trying to
What?
guilt trip us. You're the reason
You were
why our
hiding
life
it.
sucks.
Damn.
Then she blocked me. Day 4, I can't even tell them that Benny split his chin open falling off his bike. Day 5, the hospital calls again. Grandma might not make it through the night. She's asking for me specifically. Says she has
Oh,
something
nah.
important to tell me. I'm sobbing. I haven't slept in 48 hours. Lola's fever is at 103 degrees. That's when my English teacher showed up. She says the school sent her to check on why I've been absent.
Bro,
She
what? Holy.
peeks into the house and sees the
There's
mess.
a James
I show her my
and
phone
Doug
with
fan.
my parents' blocked number. She sits down next to me, puts her hand on my shoulder, and pulls out her phone. I'm going to make a call now. This isn't your fault. They came home glowing, laughing about something. The laughter died when they saw my English teacher, 2 CPS workers, and a police officer in our living room. What's going on?
Holy.
Dad demanded. The CPS worker stood up. We're removing the children from your custody. Mom actually
Oh,
smiled.
nah.
Thank God. I'm so tired of pretending to want this. Take them. The officer stepped forward, pulling out handcuffs. Ma'am, you're under arrest for child endangerment. Turns out Grandma called CPS and filed for emergency custody before her surgery. My parents
W Grandma. W Granny in the chat. W.
An 8-year-old was rushed into my emergency room, and he refused to tell me what he swallowed. Carson came in coiled over, face gray and sweaty, holding his stomach like it might fall out. His mom was panicking. I found him passed out at his desk at midnight with art supplies scattered everywhere. He's been getting worse by the hour. He looked at me and held out a pinky. I pinky promise I have no idea why it hurts or what happened, but I could see the guilty look in his eyes. But when I pressed on his belly, he almost launched off the table in pain, and I knew something was in his stomach because it was hard as a rock. Carson, did you put anything in your mouth last night? He looked me dead in the eyes. No way. I'm not some little kid who eats random stuff. We sent him for an x-ray, and when I reviewed the photos, it was clear he'd eaten something dangerous. His mom gasped and started yelling. Carson squinted at the screen for a long moment and said, "That's not mine. Someone else must have put it there." I sent him straight to the surgery ward, and 17 hours later, I watched as the surgeon pulled one partially
nah.
dissolved blueberry-scented marker from his small intestine. The stomach acid had been eating through the plastic for
What?
24 hours. I sealed it in a specimen jar to show them later.
Yeah, 151K. How much for finger painter? Bro, I don't know. One day I'm gonna get to 10 million subscribers and I still won't get finger painter.
Woke up, the first thing
That's
he
how
said
bad
was,
it is.
"Thanks for removing that random marker that mysteriously appeared in my intestines through no fault of my own." An 8-year-old. I spent 3 years
Thank you for the
Everybody's liking
$2,
my
Tornado
200. I
Boy.
almost have 200 likes.
Everybody's liking your donation. Oh, dang. 198 likes? Damn. Guys, like his donation up so he hits 200 likes. Holy. Damn.
training my 7-year-old daughter.
Thank you, though, Tornado Boy. You're the GOAT.
For the day someone came to hurt us. And when the day came, I grabbed her hand,
They were
rushed
two.
inside, and locked the door. Who was that, Mommy? The
Number
bad
6,
man
7,
we've been
King Von.
practicing for. She nodded and ran to get her bag. I called the emergency number witness protection gave me, said code red twice, and hung up. The front door started getting bashed in. I pulled a gun from the drawer, one of 4 we had hidden around the house, and aimed at the door. I remembered the instructions they gave. Close your weak eye, let out a deep breath, and gently pull the trigger. I fired twice, and the bashing stopped long enough for me to grab my bag. My daughter met me in the kitchen with hers already packed. 2 men were standing at the back door with their guns drawn, so we went out the side yard and hopped the fence into our neighbor's yard. He fell out of his chair when he saw me holding a gun. He knew me as Marge. I looked right at him and said, "Get inside your house, right now."
Get inside. Shout out to Kitty Block. They were the $2, Tornado Boy.
Close to 300 likes.
Damn, you just hit 300 likes on your donation. Holy. They were the $2, Tornado Boy. Damn.
Started climbing the fence behind us, so I fired twice and kept moving through the next yard to the street. The man from my front door was standing in the street waiting. He pointed his gun at me and yelled, "Today's where it ends. My wife will finally rest in peace." I sprinted to my car, threw my daughter in the
They
back,
were the gold
and
coins,
peeled
Sarah.
out. 2 cars came roaring up behind me, and within seconds, one rammed my bumper.
Oh my gosh,
sending me
holy.
skidding into an intersection where I slammed into the back of a moving truck. I couldn't go forward, so I threw it in reverse, floored it, and fishtailed backward into 2 of the gunmen. He fired into the back of my car, shattered the window, and made my daughter scream. 2 rounds punched into my back, but I stayed over my daughter and fired back.
Oh my
until I heard the
gosh.
click, empty. He walked up to my window, aimed his gun at my face,
Holy.
and said, "I'll give you your last words." I said, "Your
Oh,
wife's
nah.
death was an accident. She drove drunk and killed herself." I was just the bartender who served her. He shook his head. "The law cleared you." I didn't. I begged him, "Please, at least spare my
nah.
daughter." He smiled and said, "No." I closed my eyes.
Bro,
Gunshots cracked
are
through
you
the air.
serious
2
right
police
now?
officers dropped him before he could pull the
W.
trigger. I had 2 bullets in my back, but my
Okay, 2 bullets. You're kind of dead, though.
daughter was untouched. She climbed
Are you
into the
serious?
ambulance after me with her bag still on her back, grabbed my hand, and whispered, "Mommy, did I do it right?" My mom hummed "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree" at Christmas.
Rocking around the Christmas tree. Chat, 70 more subs. So we hit 152,000 subscribers. Can you all subscribe right now? They were the $2, Tornado Boy.
Someone on one of my videos said, "How rich are you?"
Yeah, no, how rich are you, honestly? Like, how do you got all this money, bro? They were the $2, Tornado Boy.
Christmas dinner, and
Thank
I
you,
grabbed her
bro.
arm and bolted to the front door. Growing up, Christmas was chaos in the best way. My dad burned the rolls every year while my mom ran the kitchen. We had one rule: never play "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree." My mom's
Why?
mom died when she was 19, and that song was playing on
They
the
were hiding it.
radio when she got the phone call. My dad passed last January, and my mom remarried 4 months later to a man she'd been dating for 3 months. Courthouse wedding, no family invited. This Christmas, I was meeting him for the first time. He was all smiles when I walked through the door, but my mom barely said a word. She asked his permission.
7 more subs. Let's hit 152K. Come on, chat. Shout out to Penguin Eat Blocks Fruits. Come on. 5 more subs. We can do it. We can do it. Come on. Come on.
For offering me seconds at dinner and flinched when he reached past her for the salt. She was wearing long sleeves in a warm house.
Give her the $1. Getting famous right now. W getting famous right now. Thank you, bro, for the $1. W.
And when one rode up, I caught dark bruising on her wrist. She
We hit 152K. Let's go. W's. Thank you, guys. Shout out to Eric. 152K. Let's go. Give her the $2. Tornado Boy.
Oreo, I think I already noticed you.
Oreo. What do you mean? Oh, Oreo. Yeah, I noticed you too, Oreo. W. They were the 2, Tornado Boy. Thank you guys for 152K though. Holy. They were the gold
yanked it
coin.
down so fast, she knocked over her water glass and cleaned it up without looking at me. I offered to help clear dishes, and he stood up immediately. "I'll help her." I tried
Give her the laughing disco, Barbara. W Barbara with the laughing disco. Thank you, Barbara. W Barbara.
showing my mom photos on my phone. Show us
Thank
both.
you.
I excused myself and texted my brother. He wrote back instantly, "Get her out now. I'm calling 911." I walked back trying to keep my face normal. My mom was clearing plates when she started humming softly, a melody I hadn't heard in decades.
The Christmas tree.
Rocking around the Christmas
Where's the
tree.
gold
She looked
coins?
right at me for 1 second, and I grabbed her arm and ran. Her husband was faster.
Oh,
He
nah.
blocked us and threw the deadbolt closed. I knew
What?
you were going to be a problem. He locked every door and
What?
put the
Oh,
keys
hell
in his
no.
pocket.
We're
Your mother was
hiding it.
supposed to have an accident this spring. Nice life insurance policy. You showing up is making me adjust my timeline. He pulled a knife from the block
Give
on
her
the
the happy
counter.
poop.
I've done this before. My mom sobbed and I pulled her backward, knocking over the Christmas tree.
Oh my
He
gosh.
stepped over the broken ornaments like they weren't there. My back hit the wall and he raised the knife. I turned my face away and felt the blade
Lock
slice
in.
across my cheek. Sirens cut through
Oh
the
my
silence,
gosh.
pounding on the
They were
front
the
door.
$2. Tornado Boy. 350. Oh my gosh. Yo, Tornado Boy. You're popular, bro. They were hiding gifts. W Tornado Boy with the 2. Thank you, Tornado Boy.
door. Police, open up. He dropped the knife, unlocked the deadbolt, and opened the door with a smile on his face. Officers, my stepdaughter's been acting crazy. They saw the knife on the floor and two terrified
They were
women
hiding
with
it.
nowhere to go. He bolted and made it 3 steps before they brought him face first into the frozen grass. He wasn't lying. He confessed to murdering his first wife. My mom hummed "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree" at Christmas dinner, and
Alright.
my sister chose ugly friends as her bridesmaid to make herself look better.
355 likes,
But it
bro,
backfired.
Jesus.
My sister got engaged and chose her bridesmaids based on one criteria: they had to be ugly, so they wouldn't outshine her in the wedding photos. She made her real best friends regular guests that would have to sit at the regular tables. I cornered her in the kitchen. You do realize that your best
You were the
friends
star.
are all going to be really hurt by this, right? She got in my face. Listen up, party police. One day when it's your own wedding, you'll understand. So for now, I'm gonna need you to shut the hell up, smile, and wave. I approached my mom in the living room. Don't you have anything to say about this? You know as well as I do that it's really messed up. My mom shrugged her shoulders. It's her wedding and her choice. Nothing I can do. I was strolling through the mall when I saw all of the ugly bridesmaids getting their
Thank you for the
wedding
star.
dresses altered. Hey, don't tell your sister you saw us. We've
Thank
also
you.
hired personal trainers, been on strict diets, and Sally even booked a nose job. I was blown away. That's awesome. Go for it, girls. This is your time to shine. The wedding day arrived, and as soon as the festivities began, the photographer was obsessed with taking the bridesmaids' pictures because they were stunning. My sister saw them, dropped her flowers, gritted her teeth, and clenched her fists. She was barely holding it together when the photographer snapped another picture. Great poses, bridesmaids. Any one of you could have easily been the bride. My sister slammed her fist into the wall. I only chose you beaches since
Thank you for the star.
were ugly and not photogenic at all. You were only supposed to make me look better. You idiots have completely ruined my big day. And I'm not stupid, Sally. I can totally tell that you changed your nose. Sally covered her nose and downed some
Oh,
vodka.
nah.
My sister's eyes bulged and her hand flew to her mouth. Her real friends stood up from their regular guests table and walked out. Her new husband dropped his champagne glass and his mother crapped her pants. A week later, he annulled the marriage. My sister stormed in on me and my mom. That was all your fault. You both should have stopped me. Sorry, sis. Maybe you should have gotten a new nose. My son's school called and said Isaac was on the floor turning blue and an ambulance was already on the way. I grabbed my keys and ran. I did
Oh my
90 on the
gosh.
highway and got to
90? Damn, 90 miles per hour.
the hospital as they wheeled him through the doors
That's
with
super
his face
fast.
swollen shut and his lips turned
Oh my god.
purple. They shoved a tube down his throat and the doctor told me his body was shutting down from peanuts. I grabbed the doctor's arm. That's impossible. He's allergic and I pack his lunch every single day. There were no peanuts in that bag. The doctor looked at me and said, then it didn't come from you. Before I could say another word, my phone rang and Isaac's friend was on the other end crying. Mrs. Gray, it's my fault. We were making fun of Mr. Sutton at lunch and Isaac cracked a joke about his wife leaving him. Sutton heard it and his whole face went
Oh,
red.
nah.
I hung up and drove
It's
straight to
over.
the school. I walked into Sutton's 5th period class. My son is
Chat, it's over, bro.
dying. What did you put in
It's over for the teacher. L teacher.
his lunch? Sutton stood up from his desk. Mrs. Gray, you need to leave. Security dragged me into the hall, but I caught Sutton through the door window, slumped over with his head in his hands. I called the police and watched them tear through his classroom. One officer held up a syringe from the trash can.
Guys,
Another
like up the stream. Let's hit 1K likes. Leave
pulled a
without
bottle
hiding
of
it.
peanut oil from the back of his desk drawer. They walked Sutton out in handcuffs and shoved him into the back of a cruiser. I drove straight back to the hospital. Isaac was awake when I got there with the tube still in his throat. He couldn't talk, so I put a marker in his hand and held up a whiteboard. He wrote one line. All I said was his wife left because she was tired of his mini zucchini. A man marched
What?
up to me during
To Kenya.
my date and dragged me towards the bathroom. When I tried to scream for help, the man covered my mouth. Trust me, your date is not who you think he is. I'm saving
They
you.
were hiding
He locked
us.
the bathroom door behind us, and I had no
Thank you for the hiding it, Ezra.
idea where this was going. I'm not going to hurt you.
Guys, subscribe right now if you want a shout out. Guys, watch this. I can make my voice go from high pitched, like sounding like a baby, to sounding like a 35-year-old man. Ready? Guys, hit that subscribe button if you want shout. Guys, hit that subscribe button if you want shout. Guys, hit that subscribe button if you. Guys, hit that subscribe button if you want a shout out. Shout out to Jackson. Thank you for the $10. OG Goober. WOG Goober with the $10. Thank you, OG Goober. WOG Goober with the 10, bro. Thank you, OG Goober. W. Alright, shout out to Itadori. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Love Dog. OG Goober, so thank you, bro.
I promise. I just need you to trust me. I nodded because I just wanted this to end. And as he spoke, I clenched the pepper spray in my pocket. Have you been drinking? Yes.
You were the hiding gift.
Suddenly, his face dropped like he was horrified. Did you leave your drink alone during your date? I glared at him. Yes. I left for a few minutes to answer a call. Then when I came back, I finished
That's the
my drink, but
Pandras.
nothing happened. Can you leave me alone now? No, you're in danger.
Thank you for the sunshine gift, May. W May with the sunshine gift. Thank you, May. That's the solar eclipse.
This mirror, you need to look at yourself. I looked at myself and saw it. My pupils were dilated and bloodshot red.
Oh my God.
Skin looked gray. If you want to live, stick this in your throat and vomit now. He pulled out a popsicle stick from his breast pocket. I didn't know what to do.
I
but
mean,
could see genuine
I
concern in
don't
his
know
eyes.
if I should trust that. I don't know. I mean, I guess. Chat, would you trust that? Or the hiding gift? I mean, I guess I would because there's really no other options.
Decided to trust
To
him.
be
I
honest.
took the stick, and after a few minutes of gagging in the sink, I hurled and handed him back the testing
That's a
strip.
cave.
The second he saw it was green, he called someone. The strip was positive. Get into the dining room now. We ran outside to find my date was face down on the table in
Oh,
handcuffs.
nah.
The man from the bathroom was standing over him, badge out. FBI, you're under arrest. I turned to him. What the hell
Give her the
happened?
100.
Your date is the CEO of an illegal organization that developed a new type of spiking pill. He was trying it out on you. You were almost the
Give her the
14th
star.
victim this month. A man marched
14th?
up to me during
Damn, that's a
I
lot.
saw a full cucumber poking
What the hell? Why is there what?
out of my student's backpack. I just laughed, thinking it was some weird new trend. I wish I knew how dark the truth really was, because
Give her the jamming gift. And Nesreal. W Nesreal with the jamming gift. Thank you, Nesreal. Give her the gold
the
coin.
next day, she brought in a bag of raw carrots.
Okay, now we're bringing carrots in.
Wednesday, a whole head
Watch it be like, oh,
of broccoli
broccoli.
wrapped in foil. Thursday,
the
her
hell?
backpack was so filled with
Watch Friday be like some oranges.
celery and a whole eggplant that it wouldn't even zip. I had no idea what a second grader was
They were
doing with
6'7".
so many vegetables.
They
So
were
on
hiding it.
Friday, when she got up to sharpen her pencil, I peeked into her open backpack. Sitting right on top of a zucchini was a full-sized kitchen
Shout out to
knife.
Kevin.
I pulled her into the hallway and told her to open the bag. She started crying before the zipper was halfway down. My friend is too poor to eat vegetables. He asked me to bring in vegetables and cut them small for him with a knife. He made me promise not to tell
We're
anyone
hiding
because he
this.
was embarrassed about it. So I couldn't do it at home in case my mom caught me. So I've been bringing the knife to school. I had to report the knife because rules are rules. But
I mean,
the school
What?
counselor took one look at
Those are
Julius's
angels.
file and got his whole family signed up for a food assistance program by the end of the week. I saw a
they were the
full
jamming gift. Mary. W Mary with the jamming gift. They were the $2 tornado boy. 415, bro. What the hell? Yo, tornado boy, you might get more likes
415
than my
bro,
whole stream.
WTF.
What the hell? Yo, W though. You're getting a lot of likes in your donation. They were the 2 though, bro. W.
cucumber poking out. I told the surgeons to let my husband die on the table. The doctor came out with
What?
blood on his scrubs. Your husband suffered severe internal bleeding. We can try a risky procedure.
Oh,
but there's
thank
a
you
strong
guys for 1K likes. W.
chance he won't survive it, and if he does, he may never be the same. The other option is to let him go peacefully. I looked at him and said the words that would follow me for the rest of my life. Let him go. He nodded and walked back
Give her
through
the
the double
sparkles.
doors. I heard my mother-in-law start screaming before he even made it inside. She grabbed me by my hair and threw me into a row of
Oh my
chairs
God.
so hard one cracked against the wall. You killed him! I didn't scream or fight back. His brothers dragged her across the waiting room, but they were glaring at me like I was the dangerous one. The oldest stood over me with his fists clenched. You wanted
Give
the
her the gold
insurance money
coin.
and you couldn't wait.
Give
So
her
you
the
pulled
two-
the plug yourself. The youngest was already on his phone.
I'm
I need to
give
report a
500
murder at a
tomorrow.
hospital.
Yo, that's W. That's insane. If you actually do it tomorrow, on tomorrow's stream, that would be insane. Tornado boy. Thank you for the 2 though, Tornado boy. Thank you for the 2 though. Or OG Goobers. WOG Goobers and Tornado boy. Thank you both. W's.
2 officers arrived and separated us. My dad taught me more. I
Wait.
told the surgeon. 2 officers arrived
Okay.
and separated us. One sat me down in a small room. The family is saying you told the doctors to stop trying to save your husband because you wanted him dead. Is any of that true? I nodded. The first part is true. Why would you do that? My husband has been beating me for the last 12 years.
You were
I
just a-
pulled out my phone and showed him photos of every bruise I had documented. He put me in the hospital
Why are we saying 89?
6 times. I have the record.
Shout out to
The
Creepy
officer's
Facts.
face changed as he scrolled through photo after photo. I tried to leave this morning after he went to work, but he had a tracker on my car. He
You were
came after
hiding
me
it,
and tried to
Lincoln.
run me off the road. He lost control of his truck going 90 miles an hour and flipped 4 times. I was the one who called 911. The officer hadn't said a word. When they asked me if they should try a risky surgery to save him, all I could think about was 12 years of hiding bruises, lying to doctors, and being terrified to fall asleep in my own home. Every single time he promised he would kill me if I ever tried to leave. Tears ran down my
nah.
face, but my voice stayed steady. I didn't kill my
ALR
husband.
have 8 subs.
Yo, thank you for the $2 Tornado boy. You already have 8 subscribers. Damn. W Tornado boy with the $2. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Officer, I just stopped saving him. I told the surgeon.
All right, chat. Subscribe if you want a shout out. Let's hit 153K subs. Let's go. Come on. Rate this stream 2 to 68, 67. That's a James and Duck fan.
My dad taught me Morse code when I was 7. We had radios in the kitchen and my bedroom.
Hey, where the
and
party
every
at?
night at 9:14,
Shout out
when
to
the freight train
Penny.
shook our house, I'd tap our signal, and his came back 3 seconds later from down the hall. Same pattern every night, and it just meant I'm here. When I was 12, he got deployed and packed a handheld radio in his bag. Last thing he said was, same time every night, same frequency. For 3 months, we kept it going across the world. Then one night, I sent it, and nothing came back.
Shout out to
I
Mr.
transmitted
Drone
every
guy.
night for 2 weeks and got nothing. 2 soldiers showed up at our front door on a Monday morning, missing in action. Mom grabbed the door frame, but I asked if missing meant dead. It means we don't know where he is. A month later, Mom started packing his things. When she reached for the kitchen radio,
Shout out
I
to
smashed
Raze.
it off the counter and held it against my chest. He's not coming home,
You were the
baby.
gold
You
coin,
don't know that.
little
The military
CC.
knows that. The military said missing, not
Thank
dead.
you for the $2. Tornado Boy. Sub to see the $500. You know what? I'ma subscribe to you. I mean, if you're telling me to, I got you. They were the gold coin, Lincoln. Not because like for the $500, but just because, bro. You're the GOAT. You sent all those donations. I subscribed.
Dead. 6 months in,
That's a
Mom
little
came to the
job.
memorial and told me we needed to say goodbye. I
Sub
told
to
her I
see
wasn't
the
going. She stood in my
$500.
doorway that night while I sat with the radio. You sit in your room every night talking to
Shout out
nobody.
to
I didn't
Stacy
look
Doctor.
at her. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm talking to Dad. The night
Damn, yeah, I got you, bro.
before the memorial, the train came through at 9:14. I tapped our signal into the static like always. Something
Shout out to Ricky.
tapped back, faint and broken.
Shout out to Vintage Fan.
But it was our pattern. I sprinted to Mom's room. She was sitting on the bed in the dark, and I held up the radio. Listen, 3 seconds after I transmitted, our pattern came back through the speaker, and Mom grabbed my arm so hard it hurt. The
Shout out to
liaison
Maro.
said it could be interference.
Oh, Mom.
And I told him
I'ma be
interference
honest.
doesn't
Shout out
tap
to
Morse
Stormy.
code on a specific frequency. That's my father. Find him. They traced the signal, and
Shout out
3
to
weeks later,
Goku,
a
fan.
helicopter brought him home. I asked why he kept sending when he didn't know anyone was listening. He said they took everything, but he built a transmitter from scrap and sent our signal every night at 9:14. I asked how he knew I was still there. I didn't. But one night yours came through.
Oh, so this helped out? That's
Same
tough.
time, same frequency, and I knew. My
W. Thank you for the $10. OG Goobers. WOG Goobers with the $10 donation. Thank you, OG Goobers. WOG Goobers, bro, for the 10. Thank you, OG Goobers. W, bro. Thank you for the $2, Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy. For 487, you're famous. W.
487,
bro.
I am famous.
WOG Goobers with the $10. Thank you, bro. Thank you too, Tornado Boy. W.
My dad taught me Morse code when I was 7. I woke up at 2 a.m. to my doorbell ringing. A man was outside with his hair done, smiling and holding flowers. He said, "I'm here for our date." I told him I'd never seen him
What the hell?
before, but he pulled out his phone and showed me texts from my number, flirty messages,
What?
my address, me telling him to come over tonight. I told him I didn't send those, but he didn't believe me and pushed past me into the house. He grabbed my arm aggressively. "I drove over an hour to see you. You invited me here. Why are you lying?" My little sister started laughing from the top of the stairs like this was a joke. I ripped my arm free from the man's grip and ran up to the bathroom. My sister came with me.
Are we
and I
serious,
locked the door
brother?
and called police, but she just kept laughing. I asked her what was so funny, but then I heard another man come into the
Shout out to the Shenanigans Rider.
house. "I'm here for the date," he yelled. They
What?
started arguing between themselves, and I was scared and confused. Suddenly, the bathroom door knocked. It's the police. I looked through the gap and opened the door. The police had the 2 men in handcuffs. "Ma'am, these men are saying you matched with them on a dating profile and invited them here." I
What?
shook my head. I don't even have a dating profile, but they showed me the men's phones.
Shout out to J
Tinder,
Players.
a full dating profile of me that I'd never made. I recognized the writing style instantly. I realized my little sister had made a fake dating profile of me.
Oh,
I slowly
hell no, Sonny. Are we serious? Did to me for... Wait, what do you mean, OG Goobers? What?
messages and saw she had invited them over to my house tonight. The officers turned to my sister, asking why she was catfishing online and putting me in life-threatening danger. She tried to say it wasn't me, but her phone fell from her pocket. My dating profile right there. She started crying. "Okay."
Thank you for the $2, Tornado Boy. Shout out to Moxie. Shout out to Nathan.
503, I'm close 1 likes.
1K likes. Damn. W Tornado Boy 2. Bro, you're famous. Oh, sub to you for $200. I mean, sure. You're also the GOAT, bro. You sent like $60. I'll sub to you too. Whatnot. I subscribed. Shout out to that crazy guy. Subscribe if you want to shout out. W Tornado Boy though. Thank you, bro.
Maybe it was me, but it was just a prank. I never thought they'd actually come. They uncuffed the men and put cuffs on her instead. She screamed, "You can't do this to me. I'm just a little girl. Sis, help me." But they dragged her out to the car. The men looked at me. So, no date? I kicked them out.
Shout out to
My sister
Zyro.
didn't go to juvie. So instead, I simply told her classmate she really liked him. Now he won't leave her alone. I woke up at 2 a.m. to my doorbell ring.
All right.
My teacher
Next short. But guys, subscribe right now if you want to shout out.
up an envelope from
Where the
her
hiding
desk.
is?
This letter is for the most hated teacher in school.
Oh, hell no, that's crazy.
Whoever wrote this is going to the office. She opened it up and read it out loud. Every student in this class knows your husband is cheating on you because you're fat and pathetic.
Oh my gosh. Yo, whoever is sending that, that's savage. That's a turtle
Nobody
channel.
in this class respects you. We laugh about you every single
my
day.
gosh.
She was so upset it looked like she was going to cry, but she quickly wiped her eyes and pointed
They
at
were
me.
the press
I know
F.
this is your handwriting. I was so shocked that my
Bro,
jaw
what?
dropped to the floor. Miss, I would never say something like that. I heard a kid in the back row laugh at me. I turned around and saw it was
Bro,
Snip.
what?
Last time I saw him, he was shoving a 6th grader into a locker, and I
That's a
reported him to the
Lucas.
principal. I knew this was his way of getting his revenge. I tried to defend myself. I've never seen that note before, miss. She held the note close to her face
That's
to
a Tino.
examine it. I don't believe you. It's the same way you write your letters in full stops. I looked at my teacher. There's a camera in the corner
Are we
of this
serious,
room.
bro?
Please pull up the footage from yesterday after school. Snip stopped laughing. My teacher crossed her arms. Fine, if that's how you want to waste the
Yeah.
office's time. She walked to her computer.
That's a
The whole class
Jorgson.
crowded around her screen. We watched the classroom empty out at the end of yesterday. We watched Snip in the back row
Oh,
wait
nah.
until everyone had left. We watched him sit down in her chair and copy my handwriting letter by
It was
letter to write the
him.
note and frame me. Nobody said a word.
That's crazy.
Snip shoved his chair back. She deserved it. She almost got me expelled. My teacher walked to his desk, picked up his backpack, and dropped it at his feet. Stand up, pack your things. He didn't move. She pointed at the door. And for the record, my husband loves me. And when I show him this note, he's going to be the one laughing at you. He started crying, and he was expelled that same day. My teacher picked up an envelope,
Shout out to Alexi.
got his wisdom teeth removed, and when I walked into
Alexi. Shout out to
the
Toro.
office to pick him up, he saw me and literally gasped, "Oh my God, are you my
Thank you for the $20, OG Goobers. Thank you. WOG Goobers with the $20, bro.
I'm better than Tornado Boy smiley
I mean,
face.
no. I don't want to make this a competition, bro. No. That's a Paisley. But thank you for the $20. OG Goobers. WOG Goobers with the $20. Thank you, bro. You guys both are goated. WOG Goobers, though. Thank you for the 20, bro. W.
cab
Thank you, dude.
driver?" I instantly realized he was
W's.
out of it and smirked because this was perfect. For the last few weeks, he'd been
You're
working
the hiding
late and
gifts.
turning his phone away when I walked in, so I was about to take advantage of his unaware state to find why. I told him I was indeed his cab driver, then grabbed his arm and guided him to the parking lot. He immediately started flirting with me. "You've such
Dr.
pretty
Goto.
eyes." I got him in the passenger seat and started driving. "So do you have a wife?" He smiled. "Yes, I do. How is she?" He looked down at the ground. "She's not how she used to be." I felt my heart sink. How is she different
Thank you
right
to
now?
everybody no subs to
Thank
me.
you for the $20. Tornado Boy. Thank you to everybody who's, W. W Tornado Boy with the $10. Thank you, Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy. Guys, subscribe right now if you want a shout out. W Tornado Boy, though, with the $10. Thank you, dude. W.
He looked up, completely delirious. "She's still the prettiest woman I've ever met, but she used to be so much more full of life. Now, ever since we had kids, she's stressed
Really
and not
flowing
as
hard.
happy." I teared up because I realized he'd noticed my stress, even though I'd tried to hide it. But then he continued, "That's why I
Dr.
started
Whitney.
keeping a secret from her."
Thank you for the girl power. Chubbier Dino. W Chubbier Dino with the girl power. Thank you, Chubbier Dino. Shout out to Paisley. Shout out to
Eyes
Jacob.
twisted. I asked
W
him what
Chubby or
secret, and
Dino?
he smiled at me, still having no idea who I was. "Look at this." He pulled out his phone and gave it to me. I pulled over and unlocked it with tears in my eyes. But then I started scrolling. He'd been secretly
What the hell?
booking a 3-month-long
3-month? Damn. They were the $2. Landon. W Landon with the $2. Thank you, Landon, for the $2. W Landon.
couples cruise around Europe for my birthday, coordinating with my managers to give me the time off and keep it a secret. I looked at him and he laughed. "She thinks I forgot how on our first date she told me she wanted to see Europe. I never forgot. I can't wait to see her face when she realizes." I instantly
They were the
hugged
star.
him, but he shoved me away. "Whoa, I know I said you have pretty
Shout out
eyes,
to Blue
but the
Moon.
only woman I'm ever touching is my wife." We went
Okay,
on a
why
cruise
does he have a pimple?
2 months later, and
Like
every
that?
time he saw my face
What?
looking at something new, he
Shout out to
smiled
Sean.
like he was the one getting the gift.
Yeah, what's up, Mix Up Boss? Hey, what's up, dude?
My husband
Alright.
I asked, "Dad, why don't you ever cry in front of me?" He just smiled and pushed the cart and said he was too manly for that. But a few seconds later, we heard my mom scream from a few aisles over. He dropped everything and ran over, and when we turned the corner, we saw her being grabbed by men wearing all black.
Oh,
She saw
nah.
us. "Help me, stop." But just as my dad ran over, they pulled out a knife and held it up to her. "No, let her go," but they were threatening her, holding
Oh,
the knife to
Goobers
her
are
neck,
not
and
better
as the
than me.
Yo,
Have you sent
thank you for the
200?
$2, Tornado Boy. OG Goobers, you're not better than me. Oh, nah. I mean, I don't want to make it a competition, though, guys. Chill. I mean, unless you do. I don't think you guys do though. Thank you for the $2 though, Tornado Boy. W.
Store employees ran over, everyone started panicking. One of them yelled, "You, empty all the cash registers now." My dad's hands were shaking, and he yelled at them to hurry. "Let go of my mom," but they yelled at me to shut up. They started walking her over to
That's
the
a
front
little
as the
midnight
cashiers
dud.
started throwing grocery bags of money towards them. "Make sure it's all of it." They started grabbing the money, and my mom looked at me. She was crying. but
That's a
smiled.
Vortex
"Don't worry,
Gaming.
honey. It's all gonna
Oh,
be okay."
nah. I thought that was a carrot at first. Because it was like green and orange. What the hell, bro?
They held the knife closer to her
nah.
throat. They were about to leave and let her go, but then we all heard sirens. Red and blue lit up the windows, and they all looked at each other. They grabbed my mom and ran out the front doors as she screamed. My dad ran after them screaming, "No, let her go!" But as soon as the doors slid open, the
That's a
officers
little
started
midnight
firing.
dud.
Shots went everywhere as the
Oh my
glass
gosh.
shattered. My dad dove at me and pushed me to the ground. trying
Thank
to
you for the
cover me.
$2, OG
Nah,
Goobers.
okay, Tornado Boy bet.
Oh, nah. Yo. Thank you for the $2, OG Goobers. Thank you, bro.
Everyone was screaming,
W.
and I was bawling my eyes out. He covered my ears, but then someone grabbed us. The cop yelled, "Move! We need to go!" He rushed us outside, but I didn't see my mom anywhere. They took us to our car and told us to leave right now. But when we got inside, my dad still wasn't crying. I was bawling my eyes out. "Dad, where's mom?" But he just started the car. He started backing up and didn't say anything.
nah.
But as we drove by the ambulances, I saw my mom's shoes underneath a
Oh,
blanket.
nah.
He covered my eyes, but I sat there frozen. And when
R.I.P. Justin
I
Fernando.
looked over at my dad. A single tear was on his cheek. He saw me looking and immediately wiped it away. I asked,
R.I.P.
"Dad, why don't you?" I called the cop.
Thank you for the $2, Tornado
Subscribe
Boy.
to the person who's doing this live.
Yes, go subscribe to Legend GT, the man himself, which is me. And go subscribe to Tornado Boy too, if you guys want. Because this guy sent so much money, bro. But yeah. You know, subscribe to me if you want a shout out. You know, you have to. Like, obviously.
Cops to crash an entire wedding over a single photo. I was getting ready for my sister's wedding when I overheard her in tears ask her husband, "Did you actually invite him here? You know what he did to me." Bart swore he didn't, and they moved on.
That's
But
a
then
Bass
I
and
walked to the hall
Beyond.
where their photo slideshow was taking place and heard screaming from inside. "Why is that photo there?" I ran in, and Bart was ripping the laptop
067,
away
the boy in the bath. What the hell?
from the projector, disconnecting the cables. The screen where the photo was now black. I looked up and saw my sister rocking back and forth.
Shout out
Not
to
again,
Christina.
not again. Bart immediately dropped beside her, holding her close. I tried asking what was on that
You're
photo,
hiding
but
it,
nobody
Darth.
was listening. Our dad was on the phone, guests were yelling about the photo, and paramedics came rushing in. They went straight to my sister,
That's a
injecting her and
moonshot
testing
girl.
her blood because they had reason to believe she was spiked. Bart stayed with her, holding her hand while she shook. Who put that photo
Thank
there?
you for the $2, Tornado Boy. 17 subs. Congrats, bro. Congrats, Tornado Boy. You will give me $500? OG Goobers, I think you're capping, bro. That's kind of cap. Thank you for the $2, though, Tornado Boy. Appreciate it, bro. Congrats.
He kept yelling angrily, "Who?" He rubbed my sister's thumb, whispering, "I'm going to find him. I swear, when I do, I'll make him pay for this." They loaded her onto a stretcher, and Bart walked
That's
alongside,
Isaac.
holding her hand and telling
Or
her she
Isaac.
was safe with him. I still didn't know what was on that photo, but then police arrived, and they went straight towards the projector. Bart didn't even notice as they grabbed his
17
laptop.
That's a
subs.
VXR Infinity. You would send money, but your mom won't let me. Guys, yeah, guys. You don't have to send donations. It's okay. You don't have to. You could just watch, stream, and chill.
I pushed through the crowd
You're
and
floating
finally
hard.
saw the screen. Time-stamped yesterday, my sister unconscious on the floor in her wedding dress, and beside her Bart's brother Blake, holding a drink and smiling. Everyone
Shout out
knew
to the
he drugged
VR
and assaulted
Brews. The VR Bros.
my sister 8 months ago. This was the photo the whole
You're a son to a millionaire? Damn.
room just saw. I was absolutely horrified, but then the officers scrolled, and I couldn't believe what I saw. Another photo. Nobody had seen
You were
this one.
floating
Same
hard.
timestamp, same scene, but this time Bart was in it, smiling right beside Blake. I looked at Bart, holding my sister's hand, giving her a bottle of water, acting like he cared and felt sick. The officers slapped handcuffs on him immediately. He was shocked as to why, until he saw the
Oh,
photo,
nah.
and his face instantly turned cold. My sister looked up. "Why are you taking my husband away? I need him with me. I can't do this without him." But then she saw the photo as well. She looked up at Bart
That's a
and didn't know
Lincoln
what to say.
Place.
I called the cops to. We were at my graduation dinner when my uncle asked me, "Did the college fund I set up cover all 4 years?" My fork stopped
All
halfway
4
to
years?
my mouth. "What college fund?" My uncle's face dropped. He pulled
What is 45 plus 899? 944. What kind of question is that? So I don't know. 101.
up his banking app and turned the screen toward me. He'd sent over $120,000 to my parents. I've been working 3 jobs just to pay off $50,000 in student loans. My uncle's jaw tightened. He turned to my parents and said, "Show me the account I sent the money to." Dad put his hand up. "This isn't the time or place." My uncle's eyes narrowed. "Show me the account now." Mom dabbed her eyes with her napkin, careful not to smudge her mascara.
That's a
We were
wide
making
end.
sure the money
Guys,
was
Like up the stream and subscribe, and feel free to send gifts if you want me to say your name and say W's for you. Like, you could send laughing discos if you want.
Used responsibly. Responsibly? I said. I sold my blood twice a week until I got too sick to keep going. I missed study abroad because I couldn't afford the $3,000 fee. I shared textbooks and wore the same 3 outfits for 4 years. So what was more important? Dad stared at his plate.
Of the top neon
the country club, Lakers season tickets, and your mother needed surgery. Mom nodded. My mommy makeover was a medical necessity. I had back pain. You spent my college fund on a Brazilian butt lift? I stood up so fast my chair scraped the floor.
You were laughing disco, Miguel. W Miguel with the laughing disco. Thank you, Miguel.
The day while you got your ass in Miami, Mom reached.
Okay, I'm not watching this.
A woman harassed me at Disneyland, so I made sure she never came back. I had this leg injury where
oh, hell nah.
The tendon stretched a little too much when I was going through a growth spurt. I had to use crutches and wore a brace on my leg all the time. I could barely walk, and I would often wake up in the middle of the night screaming in pain until my mom gave me some pain medicine. That summer, my parents surprised us with a trip to Disneyland. I still couldn't walk, so I had to be in a wheelchair, but that meant we could skip the lines at the park. My dad got us ice cream as we wheeled through the park. We had just arrived at the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Thank you for the uncle. They were the gold coin, Miguel. Thank you for the uncle Pug. W Pug with the uncler. Thank you, Pug. And thank you for the laughing disco. Trustin. W Trustin and Pug with the laughing disco and uncler. Thank you. Trustin and Pug. W. They were the uncler, Pug. W Pug with the uncler. What the hell are you saying, Stacy? Yo, Stacy, I'm telling you out. Emotional support stuff, I guess. Stop spamming those. They were the uncler again, Pug. W Pug
appeared behind us. The ride attendant gestured us forward, and we were about to step out of line when the lady suddenly blocked our way. No way.
Thank you for the uncler, Trustin. W Trustin with the uncler. Thank you, Trustin. W Trustin with the uncler. Thank you, bro. W. They were the $2 Tornado Boy.
At 50 subs, I'ma do my first live.
Nice, bro. Be careful though. Don't show your face because YouTube can disable your streaming. So I wouldn't show your you shouldn't show your face. I would just like play games, okay? If you're gonna.
Skipping everyone all day. Dad frowned and
said, "That's a R blocks."
In front of me. It's obvious my daughter is injured. The lady sneered at me. She's probably faking it. I'm not, I said. I have a disease in my leg. She scoffed. Yeah, right. Get up and walk, little girl. Get out of our way, Dad snarled. My daughter isn't faking anything. The lady shook her head stubbornly. I'm not going anywhere. Admit you're faking it, girl. Get up. She was causing a commotion and strangers were watching us, starting to film the drama on their phones. The lady suddenly leaped around my dad.
You were hiding so fast
that no one could have stopped it. She grabbed my arm and
yanked
me out of the chair. I couldn't help landing on my feet as I cried out in pain and crumbled to the ground. My eyes filled with tears. My dad started yelling at her while my mom helped me back in the chair and gave me some painkillers. The poor ride attendant didn't know what to do as he stood there raising his hands and trying to calm everyone down. What is going on? Yelled the park manager. My dad quickly
You were hiding at PJ Boost.
Are you all right? The park manager asked. I'm fine, I sniffed. The tears were still falling. We've already had quite a few complaints about you, lady. He snapped at the crazy lady still blocking us from getting on the ride. You're done. I'm banning you from my park. Security will escort you out. A couple of beefy security guards appeared suddenly and grabbed the lady by her arms, dragging her to the exit.
Goodbye.
While she kicked and screamed. A woman harassed me at Disneyland. I walked into room 312 to check on a terminally ill patient and saw his IV bag was swapped for blue instead of green. Oh my god!
Jack reacts.
But when I checked the cameras to see who did it, I saw the footage was blank for the exact few minutes it was changed. My face went pale because this was attempted murder, and my mind raced. Why try kill a man who's going to die in a week? I went to the charge nurse and showed her the footage, but her face was stone cold. I'll handle it after my break. She walked away towards the security wing, and I noticed her new diamond necklace. I knew something was wrong, so I went back to room 312. Do you remember who swapped your IV bag? But right as he went to respond, the fire alarm started blaring. Evacuate right now! Security cleared the floor immediately, and the old man started crying. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I put him on a wheelchair.
He might be cooked, chat. He might actually be cooked.
But when we got to the corridor, I saw there was no smoke. And when I turned around and saw a doctor I'd never seen, he was checking every room with a syringe of black liquid in his hand.
Guys, keep subbing up if you want a shout out, guys.
Like I recognized him from somewhere, but then I felt the old man.
You were 6'7", Trustin. Is Goober still in the chat? Yo, Goober, Are you still in the chat?
Surprising strength. That's him. His face was pale. He was showing
Shout
me
out
a
to
newspaper
Tristan.
article about a lawsuit taking place tomorrow morning against a landlord who knowingly hid asbestos in his apartment buildings for over a decade. I'm one of his victims, and I'm testifying. He's here to call me. That's when his face clicked, and I put my hand on the man's shoulder. My dad died of asbestos poisoning in one of his buildings. I'm helping you. We took a different route to the exit, but when I reached it, the charge nurse was waiting. I'll take it from here. She removed my arms from the man's wheelchair.
Yes, I
tried to
am.
argue
Okay.
you, but she interrupted. Go help the others evacuate.
Why are we
I
saying
said I got
furry?
this. She started wheeling him back
In the
where I
chat.
came from, and that's when I saw the small clear bag of the
Guys, subscribe right now if you want a shout out. Let's hit 153K. Come on.
same black liquid in her pocket. A
We
horrible
can do it.
realization hit me. I
We
knew
can
I
do
needed
it.
to do something, so I looked around and saw a
Shout out
tiny
to
location
Tonya.
tracker. I grabbed it and ran towards her. Are you sure you don't want me to take him? And while she was saying no, I quickly slipped the tracker into her pocket. 30 seconds after she walked away, an announcement blared. The fire was a false alarm. Everyone back to your stations. And I took out my phone to look at the moving dot. I followed it to the closed renovation wing with no security, and when I rounded the corner, I nearly collapsed. The nurse and the landlord had syringes and were wheeling
Shout
the
out to
man
Elliot. Shout out to Caesar.
into a room with duct tape on his mouth. I sprinted to the door, but it was locked.
Shout out to
and I heard him
JVR.
grunting inside. Crap.
Shout out to Mia.
I was freaking out because by fighting for him, I felt like I was fighting for my own dad, and I was failing. I thought about calling security, but he'd definitely be dead by the time they arrived. But then I looked
Shout
up
out to
and saw a
Forest
vent running
Apex.
directly into the room. Yes, I grabbed a canister of anesthetic gas from the nearby supply closet and started pumping it through the vent. But when
Shout out
I
to
listened in,
Idris.
I could only hear them coughing. The man was silent, so I just prayed that I was fast enough. I grabbed a master key card from a different closet and a mask.
You
and
gotta
braced
go for a
myself
sec, bro? Alright.
and unlocked the door. I walked in, and all three were passed out. The landlord unconscious. The charge nurse had fallen face
Alright.
flat, sticking
Oh
the
my
syringe
gosh.
into her
You haven't even acknowledged me? Now I have. My bad, bro. My bad. Shout out to Plug Mager.
own arm. And when I checked the man, his pulse was still there. I'd
Oh
saved
my
him.
gosh.
My best friend gripped my wrist. I only invited you to the party because my son almost dying
I want-
saved his
yeah, I wanna
life.
watch
He suddenly
this.
started coughing one day and just wouldn't stop. And when I gave him cough syrup, he only coughed harder. I
Oh my
read about it
gosh.
online and realized it could be mold exposure. But when I asked my landlord to check our apartment for mold, he rolled his eyes. The apartment's fine. Just be grateful the rent is so cheap.
Shout out
But the
to
next day,
Emily.
my son's coughing got worse. So I told the
Holy.
landlord, my
The
son is
ice
dying. Check our
lizard.
apartment or I'll call the city inspectors. He went pale and instantly agreed. But then he showed up at my door with an eviction notice next morning.
What?
Your rent was 2 days late.
Shout out
3
to
months ago.
Tech
I told
Gamer.
you should have been grateful. 1 week later, he showed up to kick us out. But while we were leaving the building for the final time, my son suddenly went green and collapsed on the
Oh,
stairs.
what?
I dropped to my knees
Bro
and
just rolled in the stairs. What? Bro is not Sonic.
screamed at the landlord to call an
Are you
ambulance.
serious?
But he asked, "Is that really necessary?" I couldn't believe it and just dialed
Shout out to
911
Kamari.
myself immediately. At the hospital, I saw doctors hooking my son up to machines and running dozens of tests on him. After 30 minutes, the doctor came out and pulled me inside. "How long were you living in your last apartment?" 5 years. "Why?" The doctor's face went ghost white. He said, "Your son has asbestos in his lungs. We suspect it's from that apartment." I was horrified and looked at my sick son, and everything instantly clicked. My landlord already knew about the asbestos. He just
Shout out
didn't
to
want it found
Pancake
because it
and
would look bad
Butter.
for him. That's why he kicked us out rather than call inspectors. I picked up my phone and called city council immediately. That evening, I saw our landlord arrested on the news. I looked at my son
Superstar.
getting better and realized if my landlord never evicted us, he'd still be breathing in asbestos, and I wouldn't have known until it was too late. Going homeless saved my son's life. My son almost dying saved his. Someone wrote my phone number on the boys' bathroom stall at school with "call for a good time" underneath it. By lunch, I had strangers
Later.
texting me things I couldn't even read
Guys,
out loud.
hit that
Some
subscribe button. No. Guys, hit that subscribe
guy in
button
the
if you
hallway
want a shout
winked at
out.
me and
No,
said,
no.
"Hit me up later."
6,
So I
7.
went straight to the principal and explained what was going
Hey,
on. She didn't even put her coffee down. Without knowing who wrote it, our hands are tied. I changed my number that night, but by the next day, it was back up on
No,
the
no, no.
stall and the texts started again. I only gave this new number to 10
They're
people.
the star.
So
Shout out to KBN. My bad, chat.
doing it was someone I trusted, and I was going to find out. When I got home from school, I sat on my bed with a notebook and wrote down every name I'd given the number to. I crossed off anyone who had no reason to hurt me
Shout
and
out to
anyone
Brittany.
who was with me when the texts came in. That left 3 girls I used to call my best friends until I started dating a guy one of them was obsessed with. So I downloaded an app that generates fake phone numbers, created 3 different ones, and gave each girl a different number. Then I texted each
Hold on, chat. No. Okay.
one, please don't share it. I can't take any more of this. And waited. The next day, when I showed up in school,
Shout
a
out
kid
to,
in the English class showed me a photo of the
Ryan.
stall. All 3 numbers were on the wall. I knew I had them, so after class, I found the weakest one. I know it was all 3 of you. She tried to walk away. I stepped in front of her. I have proof. That's when she broke. The other 2 came around the corner. The one who started it all got right in my face. You tell anyone and I'll destroy you. You took him from me and you deserved every single text. Then she slapped me.
Oh
What
my
none of you
gosh.
knew
Holy, what the hell?
was that my phone had been recording since I walked up. I called my mom. By the end of the day, we were in the principal's office. I put my phone between us and pressed play. The slap, the confession, all of it. The principal folded her arms. I'll look into it. Then my mom slid a letter from our lawyer across the desk. If this isn't resolved by Friday, we're filing assault charges and suing the school. The
Guys, like up the stream right now and subscribe if you want a shout out. Let's hit 153K. Come on, chat.
principal stood up so fast her coffee spilled across the desk. All 3 girls were pulled from class within the hour. I watched them walk out one by one. The last one looked back at me. Thanks for a good time. Then I gave her the finger. Someone wrote my husband showed me an article about attacks on women in our area and told me to always take the longer route to work because the shorter route had higher assault rates. For 5 years, I
That's
took
a
the longer
comic.
route without questioning it because I'd been assaulted before and still had panic attacks over the thought of it happening again. I was so grateful he'd told me about the safer way. But then one morning, my husband left for work, and when I said bye to him, I suddenly remembered I was starting earlier than usual today. I got in my car and realized I had to take the dangerous road.
You
or
were
I'd be
hiding
late.
it.
I turned onto it and my heart was pounding, and that's when
Oh,
I saw
nah.
my gas meter running incredibly low. I pulled into the nearest gas station
It's
and
over. It's cooked.
stepped out, looking around for attackers. But then I saw my husband through the window, at a table with another woman, wearing a gas station
Oh, nah.
uniform. They were laughing, and he was feeding her a spoonful of ice cream. I realized my safety wasn't why he wanted
the
me to take the
pancake
safer
and
route.
butter.
He didn't care about my safety. He cared about weaponizing my biggest fear to hide his 5-year affair, and the only thing that kept me finding out was that I was too grateful to question him. My husband showed me an
Holy.
article about attacks on my
Damn.
mother slapped her hand over my mouth and told me I would never
Oh.
speak again.
What the hell?
was the silence rule. Only the youngest child in the family was allowed to speak. Mom still had her voice because she was the youngest child in her own family. But Dad had been silenced when he was 5 and his little sister was born. Mom
Okay, bro, what? What?
loved the rule. It's so peaceful without your stupid opinions, she'd say to Dad, while he tried to communicate through gestures she ignored. I never knew how he felt.
Wait, restart that. Oh, I thought bro did the middle finger.
My son
You were hiding
my
it.
mother's
Oh my gosh. Bro.
Mom loved the rule. It's so peaceful without your stupid opinions, she'd say to Dad, while he tried to communicate through gestures she ignored. I never knew how he felt until my brother Ian was born, and I went 11 years without speaking. Mom said, you had 7 years to say everything you needed to say, and now it's his turn. She told me any sound I made would hurt my brother permanently, and I believed her. Overnight, I became invisible, while my new brother was treated like a precious prince. Mom would terrify me by showing me charts proving that Ian got stupider whenever I made any sound. Look how much damage you did with that cough, she'd say. Do you want to ruin his future? Watching my dad suffer
What?
under the silence rule
Chat, what?
hurt the most now that I knew how he felt. One evening during dinner,
Uh-huh.
I watched him try to gesture something important to Mom, only for her to ignore him while Ian snickered. Something inside me snapped.
You
and I
restored
stood up from
Dorito.
the table and said the first words I'd spoken in 11 years. Listen to him. Ian started screaming, I'm getting stupid, while clutching his
What?
head dramatically. Mom yelled, you're killing your brother. She locked me in a sound
Thank you for the live. Let's go, Isaac. Isaac with the live. Let's go. Thank you, Isaac. Isaac, bro.
proof basement
Thank
chamber.
you.
It had no windows and a dirt floor and no food or water. I thought I was going to die there. But then my father came down to the basement when my mother was beating the sound out of me and shouted, enough. His voice was rusty and cracked, but it was all he needed. He said, I've been recording all of this for years and I'm turning you in. Mom and Ian sobbed, clutching each other. The authorities intervened and Dad and I escaped. My mother slapped her hand.
You're lying if
My son
Tristan.
ripped open his birthday present, saw the PS5, and pushed it to the side. Mom, I said I wanted a PC. I picked up the box. If you don't want it, you're not getting anything at all. He crossed his arms. Fine. I don't even want that
Bruh.
crappy PS5. All
Oh, nah, that's
my
crazy.
friends have PCs. That PS5 took me 3 months of overtime and skipped
You were
lunches
floating
to
hard.
save for. So I grabbed it and drove straight to the store. My son was about to find out what ungrateful gets you. I was standing in the return line when I noticed a kid about 9 by the game shelf, holding a PS5 case with both hands like it was made of gold. He ran to his mom, who had cigarette burns on her jacket and
the
bags
hell?
under
You
her
were
eyes.
6'7".
Mom, you gotta see this.
Mac.
She put her hand on his shoulder. We can't afford that baby. I'm sorry. He put the case back on the shelf, ran his fingers across
What's
it
up,
one more
Minecraft?
time, and walked away. I stepped out of the return line because I'd rather give it to a kid who'd care about it than let my son think he'd ever get it back. I grabbed the game he'd been holding, bought it with the PS5, and caught them in the parking lot. His mom saw the bag and shook her head before I
Thank you for the GG Easy, Trusten.
say a word. We don't take charity. She took her son's hand and started walking. I pulled out my phone and FaceTimed my son so he could watch what his PS5 was about to do for someone else. I held the bag out one more time. It's not charity. Santa sent me. She stopped walking.
Yo, we hit 1K viewers on the stream. Guys, subscribe if you want a shout out right now. I'm probably ending stream in like 30 more minutes. So, yeah, they were the W.
Son pulled his hand free and walked back to me. He opened the bag and his whole body froze. Mom, a PS5! Mom, a PS5! She grabbed my arm with both hands and couldn't get any words out. My son on the other end of the phone was screaming and slamming his fists on his bed. The kid stopped mid-jump and stared at my phone. Is he okay? I smiled.
Holy.
Yeah, he's just really happy for you. My son ripped
W.
Come out,
They were the
fish
hiding
mouth.
gift,
We're looking for
Tristan.
you. My bullies screamed my nickname down the empty hallway. They came up with it after holding a bleached rag to my mouth and destroying my voice box forever. The classroom door swung open and Vanessa grinned. There she is, fish mouth. I sprinted toward the main office.
Chat, we're about to hit 150K. Let's do it. Shout out to Philip.
Tried to scream, but nothing came out. Raven yanked my backpack from behind and I hit the floor. I pulled free and
Shout out to
managed to slip
Metro.
into a janitor's closet filled
Drifting.
with chemicals. The smell hit me before anything else did. I could hear teachers having a meeting nearby, but I had no way to signal for help. I quietly slid out my phone to text the police, but it was dead. Vanessa's voice
Dildo.
echoed. We brought the rag again. I deserve to have some fun
Oh,
after how
nah.
much trouble you put me in, like the good old days. Raven laughed. Scream if you need help.
Shout out to
Fish
ICD Pro Gamer.
Oh wait, my head was spinning. How did they find me? What were they going to do to me? I heard them checking the rooms to see where I was. One door opened and slammed shut. Another one, closer. So I slipped out and ran towards the chemistry lab. The one room I knew better than they did. I knew the chemical I had to make that would change everything. I pulled 2 bottles off the shelf and mixed them into a beaker. When they kicked it open, Vanessa was grinning. Found you. I cracked the beaker at their feet and the gas from the chemicals.
You were
hit their
6'7",
throats. They dropped to the
Alice.
floor, mouths wide open
Alice.
as the fumes burned through their vocal cords. They were on the floor, mouths opening and
Oh,
closing
nah.
like a fish with nothing coming out. Funny how the name fits them better now.
Dang.
A man at
That's
the
to
community
Joanna.
pool
Thank you guys for 153K W.
pointed his phone at my son. Hold still for 1 second, honey. I need to see you clearly. My son was 7 years old, completely oblivious to what was going on. I lunged between them and knocked the phone out of his hand. The man just kept staring at my son's neck. Please, just let me touch it. Walk away, now. He walked away with his head down like he was sad that I stopped him. And a week later, I saw him there again. He was standing in the back row of the bleachers, this time with binoculars around his neck. I immediately stormed over to the lifeguards to explain what was going on. They kicked him out on the spot and banned him
Oh,
from
nah.
ever coming back. But 2 weeks later, I saw him in the swimming pool parking lot sitting on the hood of his car. Me and
Thank
my
you
son
for the
walked
Uncler Tornado Boy. Welcome back, Tornado Boy. Thank you for the Uncler Tornado Boy. W.
back towards our car.
Thank you,
and he
dude.
started shouting at us. Your son has a mole on the back of his neck that looks cancerous. You need to get it checked out. I ignored him because I was just focused on getting my son in the car so we could drive home. But when we got home, I took a closer look at it. The edge was uneven. Part
Oh,
of it was
nah.
darker than the rest. I figured getting it checked out couldn't hurt, so we went to the
I
dermatologist
mean, yeah.
the next day. As soon as she saw it, she ran a biopsy test. When she handed me the results, I gasped with shock. My son was diagnosed with stage 1 skin cancer. You did a good job by bringing him in so early. If you waited another
W.
3 months, he would have reached stage 3. A stranger saved
Damn.
my child's life for nothing in return.
W.
A Girl Scout pounded on my door. Please let me in. He's coming. I dropped my wine glass and immediately opened the door. She ran in, slamming it shut behind her, twisting the lock. What's wrong, sweetie? But she couldn't stop crying. Her arms were covered in scratches.
Holy.
There's a man. He's following me and he won't stop. I started sweating. But when I looked, all I saw was the cookie wagon out on the sidewalk.
Oh,
Sweetie,
nah.
Are you sure someone was following you?
The hot dog man.
Begged. He was right behind me. I swear he was right there. She stood up and looked out and screamed. Ah, there he is. I looked and saw the man on the street.
That's a police officer.
Instantly shut the blinds before he noticed. I was shaking. Okay, sweetie, I believe you. Let's call your parents but I heard footsteps on my front porch. Someone
Why are her eyebrows like
was
that,
there.
bro?
She was
That's a
shivering, but I
ducky.
peeked through. The man was standing on my porch. The girl grabbed me. Is it him? Shh. I covered her mouth, but he knocked on the door. Hello? I started panicking.
Oh, nah.
I snuck over to the kitchen and grabbed a knife.
Thank you for the GG keys. Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the GG keys. Thank you, Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy, bro. Thank you.
But he knocked
W.
again. I know you're in there. Can you open up? I knew.
Thank
he
you,
knew.
bro.
Hey, go away before I call the police. I prayed he'd just leave. Police? I am the police, honey. It's me. You can open the door now. I froze because I knew I recognized the voice.
no.
I put the knife down and unlocked the door.
You were
But just
hiding
as I
it.
turned the handle, she grabbed the knife. What are you doing? Stop! It clicked open and she held the knife up to the door. Get away! But just as it opened, I stared at my husband
You were the
standing
gold
there
coin.
with his hands up. Honey, what are you doing acting all creepy? You scared this poor girl half to death. I'm sorry. There've been 3 3 Girl Scouts who went missing this week. I needed to make sure she got home safe. She dropped the knife.
Oh.
I thought you were trying to kidnap me.
What? They were the GG keys. Trust it. W, trust it with the GG keys. Thank you, trust it. Again, yo, W, trust it with the GG keys. Thank you, bro. W.
We laughed, and we walked her inside to get cleaned up. I whispered, nice job with the fake badge. He smiled. Yep, looks like we got another one.
They were the W. They were the headliner. Tornado Boy. W headliner. Thank you, Tornado Boy, for the headliner gift. That's a $15 gift. W. Tornado Boy. Thank you, bro. W, Tornado Boy.
And a little girl were sitting beside each other on the flight I was
Thank
attending,
you.
but they didn't look related at all. The girl was staring at
Holy.
the floor, and when I looked closer, I noticed an odd-looking bracelet on her wrist. Something felt wrong. So during the next pass,
Guys, subscribe right now if you want a shout out. Thank you, though,
I
bro.
stopped and asked for her name. He turned to her and said,
Shout out
"You
to
can tell her your
Apex.
name, sweetie."
Thank you for the jamming gift, Tornado Boy. And thank you for the jamming gift, Trusted. W, Trusted, and Tornado Boy. Thank you both. And thank you for the Uncle Tornado Boy. W, Tornado Boy.
Almost like he was giving
And
her
Trusted.
permission to speak. The girl wouldn't raise her head and quietly muttered, Olivia. The man smiled, and I felt
Shit.
something inside me scream I couldn't explain. I told one of my colleagues, the girl in row 11
Shut the
doesn't look like
cashback
the man
money.
beside her. She also barely responded to her own name. Something is wrong there, but she replied, could be adopted.
Thank you for the Uncler, Ethan. W, Ethan with the Uncler. Thank you, Ethan.
Don't
W,
overthink
Ethan.
it. I told another flight attendant, but she said, listen, you can't
You were
accuse
6'7",
passengers because
Shelby.
of a feeling. Drop it before you get yourself fired. But during the next pass, I noticed the girl's shoes. They were way too big for her and had missing laces.
That's a lie,
They
bro.
couldn't have been hers. I freaked out and immediately asked the captain if we should call police. Call police over shoes? Absolutely not. A false accusation ends both your career and mine.
They were the
girl was
jamming gift, Chicken Nugget. W, Chicken Nugget. Thank you, bro.
She's too scared to even look at me. Some kids are shy. Get back to service now, and if you bring this up again, you're fired. I walked back to the cabin feeling like I was crazy. I was about to let it go, but then I saw the girl trying to take the bracelet off her wrist
You're
while the man
6'7".
wasn't looking. He caught her and put it back on her. Remember what I said? The bracelet stays on. It's how I know where you are. I immediately went to the back and pulled out my phone. I searched for missing girls
Give
in
her
the
the W.
area matching her age and description, and instantly a match came up. Amber Alert put out 2 days ago.
Give her
Her
the press
exact
F.
face. I went into the cockpit and picked up the radio to call police. The captain spun around. I told you no, you're getting fired. He went to grab the radio off me, but I showed him the missing photo and pointed to the girl in row 11. His face dropped, and I radioed police immediately. The second that plane landed, officers rushed in the cabin and handcuffed the man. He started protesting, "This is my daughter. That's ridiculous," but they escorted him out. The girl came with them, but on her way out, she ran up to me and hugged me. "Thank you,"
W.
she said through tears.
You were the
"That's
hiding
not
gift,
my dad.
Jacob.
He told me we were going on holiday to an island. I was so scared."
What do you mean by that? Whoa, that's kind of sus.
I told her everything was okay. She let go, and while walking out with the officers, he
Where did
took off the
W?
bracelet and threw it in the bin. He could no longer track her. A man and a little... The second I walked into class, Haley instantly started laughing at me. Look how stupid her green pants are. Nice ginger hair, fire crotch. All her friends started laughing, pointing at me, but I just...
Bro, how rich is Tornado Boy? I don't know, bro. Are you gonna take over? No, I'm joking. Are you gonna beat him, bro? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Shut the
in
Messiah.
my seat. She ridiculed me every day and made it her mission to make my life miserable. And since she was the best volleyball player in her school, her whole team bullied me.
Oh my
I left
gosh.
school every day in tears. But when I walked up to my locker, I saw her coming up behind
Where the hiding
me. "Hey,
gift?"
leprechaun, Halloween isn't until October." She was about to pull my hair, but I moved out of the way. She fell forward, twisting
Guys, like up the stream and subscribe.
her knee and instantly screamed,
Alright, guys,
"What did you do?
if you
This
want
is
a
your
shout
fault,
out.
Ginger." I tried my best not to laugh. She came to school in a wheelchair the next day, and nobody could believe it, but she kept trying to make fun of me. Here comes the Irish flag, but none
Oh,
of her friends
nah.
laughed.
They were the Uncler Tornado Boy. W, Tornado Boy with the Uncler. Thank you, Tornado Boy. Thank you, bro.
Some even stood
W.
up and sat somewhere else.
Thank
Soon,
you, bro.
She was by herself.
W.
Nobody wanted to sit near her because she wasn't cool anymore, and I thought it was justice. But then the fire alarm went off. We thought it was another drill, but we heard.
You were the
"Fire in
GG
building.
Easy
Everyone
Sea
get
Dog.
outside." The hallway was filled with smoke, and we all panicked. Everyone ran outside, but as I made it halfway down the hall, I heard, "Help,
Oh, nah.
please wait." It was Haley. Everyone burst through the doors, but
I
I turned
wanna-
around and ran back to the room. "Please, somebody." She was crying, and her wheel was stuck against the desk. The flames were spreading fast. She saw me. "Please, don't leave me."
They were the jamming gift, Reaper Kid. W, Reaper Kid with the jamming gift. Thank you, bro. They were 6'7". Welcome to Briss
Here,
World.
I ran over, but couldn't stop coughing. I tried to pull the desk, but it was stuck. The flames
Oh,
spread
nah.
into the room. "Oh my God, what do we do?" I knew we had to act fast. I
Jump
grabbed
out
her
the
and
window.
said, "Trust me." She looked at me and let me pick her up. I piggybacked her out, but the fire was everywhere. I couldn't see, but then I saw a light. I ran towards it and barely made it outside. I thought
W stream, thank you,
we
bro.
were safe, but she screamed. screamed. Ah! Her hair was on
Oh, hell no.
fire. The firefighters rushed over and put it out, but her hair was badly burned. She ended up losing all of it, but when I saw her in the hospital, she cried and thanked me for saving her. Then I handed her a gift. It was a brand new wig, bright red. The second I was 12 and nearly 300
Tornado Boy is going to buy the stream. There were 6-7s, Leo Blue, Chicken Nugget, and Sea Dog.
pounds when my mom dropped
Oh,
me
wait,
off at
wait,
Fat Camp.
restart
Mom
that?
dropped me off at Fat
What
Camp,
up?
and I was 12 and nearly 300
Oh. Oh.
pounds when my mom dropped me
Holy.
off at Fat Camp. And when I met my bunkmate, the counselor was pinching her stomach. This is Chelsea. You can learn a lot about commitment from her. She's lost 20 pounds in 3 weeks. But while the other girls clapped, I couldn't help but notice that Chelsea's eyes were sunken and her hands wouldn't stop shaking. After that, I started paying more attention to her. And one afternoon, her head dropped onto the lunch table
Oh.
mid-sentence. And when
You
I
were
nudged
6'7",
her arm,
Leo.
she jerked awake like she'd been caught. Sorry, I just haven't been sleeping. Before I could ask why, the counselor walked over and took away her plate. Still got work to do. I waited until he
Guys, subscribe right now if you want a shout out. They were the hiding gift 10 blue.
on to whisper, I'm going to report him. Suddenly, she grabbed my wrist so hard it left a mark. No, don't. You'll make it so much worse. I promised I wouldn't tell, but the more I watched her, the harder it got to keep the promise. Because every night at 3 a.m., Chelsea was slipping out of bed and sneaking out into the forest nearby. One night, I finally decided to follow her into the woods where Jacob was already waiting. I crouched behind a tree and heard him say, "You're late," before they disappeared down the trail. I followed the sound of his voice until I reached a clearing. There, Chelsea was wearing a garbage bag over her clothes with 2 coats layered on top of it. Jacob looked at her stomach. 20 more by August. Run. She started.
Thank you for the Uncler Poke Dragon. W Poke Dragon with the Uncler. Thank you for the live disco Pilot Path. W Pilot Path and Poke Dragon. Thank you both. W.
jogging until he screamed at her to go faster. And when she finally collapsed, he dumped a jug of ice water over her. Get up. You want results or not? I sprinted back
Give
to
me the
bed and grabbed
Uncler.
the phone from the
Again, Poke Dragon. W Poke Dragon with the Uncler. Thank you, Poke Dragon. W Poke Dragon, bro.
counselor's
Thank
cabin.
you.
I almost put it down because I
You're
promised
hiding
her I
it.
wouldn't
W.
tell. But when I looked down at the mark she left on my wrist, I dialed anyway. They arrested Jacob that night, and the camp shut down 2 weeks later.
Oh,
On
nah.
the bus home, Chelsea sat next to me and whispered he was going to start with you next week.
Oh, nah. Thank you for the Finger Heart Tornado Boy. And thank you for the Flow State Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy. Thank you, bro. W Tornado Boy.
My boyfriend played basketball with his sister, and it was the worst mistake of his life.
Thank you.
My boyfriend's
You were the
10-year-old
W.
sister gave him the poster she'd made for his basketball team, but he ripped it in half and said, "I told you I don't care about your drawing.
You were the hiding
Stop
gift.
trying to be my friend." Her eyes filled with tears, and the next day, she showed him cuts on her arms. Cameron, kids at school
Oh
are
my
bullying
gosh.
me. She was almost crying, but he didn't even look at her. I was
Bruh.
shocked and immediately told him to treat Iris better, or I would break up with him. Iris saw me saying this and smiled, and Cameron immediately apologized,
You were the
saying he
star.
was just stressed about basketball because D1 scouts were watching him. A few hours later, Iris
Thank you for
waddled
the
over to show us
Uncler Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the Uncler. Thank you, Tornado Boy. W.
the drawing, and this time Cameron smiled.
Thank you, bro.
He said he loved it, then immediately brought Iris out to play basketball outside. I watched them laughing and smiled.
You were
about the
6'7",
change.
Leo.
But then, a few days later, Iris texted me, "Meet at the cafe, please." I agreed, and Iris walked in alone. I could tell she'd been crying. Cameron fakes being nice. He's mean to me again the second you leave. She pulled up her sleeve. He said these bruises are my warning to not tell you. If I ruin anything before his big game next week, he said he'll make it worse. I was appalled and
Oh,
told
nah.
her everything would be okay. I knew exactly what to do. Right before the championship game started,
You're
I
a
asked Cameron
flower,
to meet me in the
J.
tunnel. He
They were the Flow State Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the Flow State. Thank you, bro.
showed up smiling, but I immediately said, "Iris told me everything."
Give her the gold
His jaw
coin, Leo.
clenched, but I said, "You're not a man. You're a pathetic, weak little boy. If my best friend was dating you, I'd tell her to run." He started tearing up, but I kept going. I
Dang.
don't respect you, Cameron.
Ah. They were the Live Disco Cat's Eye Lover. W Cat's Eye Lover with the Live Disco. Thank you, Cat's Eye Lover. They were 6'7", Leo. They were the Ramen Bowl Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the Ramen Bowl. Thank you, Tornado Boy. W, bro. Thank you, Tornado Boy. You're the GOAT, bro. W Tornado Boy.
You could score 100 points today. You'll still be a failure
You're
as a
goated.
person. If you touch Iris again, I'm calling police. He started sobbing and walked back to the court in tears. But then he saw Iris in the stands. She was holding a poster she'd made for the other team. The poster he didn't want. During the game, Cameron played terrible, missing every shot and getting benched. The scouts left early. 1 month later,
You're the
Iris
hiding
texted
gift.
me, "Cameron's actually nice to me now. Thank you." I looked at my phone and smiled because sometimes you have to break a person in order to make them stronger. My boyfriend played basketball.
W.
My daughter stole from me, and I've never been prouder.
Oh, hell nah.
It started when a girl
You were the
walked in my
6'7",
front
Leo.
door in old clothes that were way too thin for winter, holding a torn backpack. My daughter
They were the
grabbed her
Live
hand-
Disco Rao. W Rao and Anon. I can't really say your name, but they were the Live Disco, bro. W. They were 6'7".
and pulled her straight past me without saying a word. She sat the girl down in the
Give it a
kitchen
GG.
and made her a cup of hot chocolate. The girl grabbed it with both hands
it a
and
clutch
looked
raid.
up with wide eyes. I've never had real hot chocolate before. At dinner, my daughter piled extra food on the girl's plate before she even asked. When they picked sleeping bags, my daughter handed her the warmest one and took the thinnest for herself. I figured she was just being a good host. Later that night, I heard rustling and followed the sound down the hallway. Through the cracked bedroom door, I watched my daughter pulling things out of her closet one by one. Her favorite winter coat, her boots that were almost brand new, a pair of warm
Thank you for the
pajamas.
jamming gift, Cat's Eye Lover. W Cat's Eye Lover with the jamming gift. Thank you for the W and hiding gifts. Thank you for the live. Let's go. Raud Non. W Raud Non. Thank you for the live. Let's go,
She
bro.
folded
W.
each one and slid them into the girl's backpack while she slept. Then she crept into my room and opened my purse. She pulled out a $50 bill and tucked it into the coat pocket with a note. She went back to her room and fell asleep on the
Thank you
floor
for the jamming
next to the
gift.
girl. I picked up
Marisa. W Marisa with the jamming gift. Thank you,
the note and
Marisa.
read it twice before I
You
could
were
put it
6'7"
down. I know
Isabella.
things are hard right now, but you're my best friend, and I'm not going to let you be cold or
for
hungry
the
anymore.
W.
I love you. Don't tell anyone, okay? The next morning, I watched as the girl walked out the front door wearing my daughter's winter coat over the same old clothes she came in with. Her mom pulled up and she climbed into a back seat packed with blankets and clothes hanging from every window. I told her mom our door was always open, and from that day forward, that girl had a plate waiting for her at our table every night. And that's when I
W.
realized I raised my daughter right. My daughter stole from me. and
That's
I've never been
W,
prouder.
chat.
It started when a girl walked
That's
through my-
actually
I found
W.
out that the nightmare I had for 20 years was trying to tell me
Thank you for the
something.
press
A
F, Marisa. Thank you for the watermelon, Cat's Eye Lover. W, Cat's Eye Lover with a watermelon gift. Thank you, Cat's Eye Lover. W. Thank you for the GG Easy, Callie.
married my husband, and 3
W.
days later started having the same dream every night, where I'd be walking down a long, dark hallway, then open the last door to my left
You're
and
hiding
see
it,
something
Aubrey. You're
horrifying.
with the press
But I'd
F.
always wake up right before
Marisa.
seeing what was actually behind that door. My husband would comfort me saying everything was okay, and he's
Give
right
the
here.
GG
And
easy.
for 20 years, I wanted nothing more than to figure out what was behind that door. Then we decided to go on family holiday, and because we booked a hotel
You're hiding
last
it,
minute,
Sean.
we ended up with 2 rooms on opposite ends of the hotel. I took a room with our daughter, and my husband went
That's
to
a
the other
Mr.
room with
Drone
our
guy.
son. I went to sleep on the
Thank
first
you,
night,
bro.
but right as I started having my nightmare, I was
You're hiding
woken
it,
up by a
Aubrey.
knock on my door. My son was standing right there,
Oh,
screaming
nah.
I needed to go to
They
his
were the clock it, Frosty
room
Coals.
right now. He led me down a long, dim
Shout out to
lit
Jaden.
hallway, and my heart was pounding. Something felt really wrong. We walked all the way to the last door on the
Holy.
left. I turned
This
the
is like an endless hallway, chat.
handle and saw
They
my
were the hiding
husband
gifts.
dead in his bed. He had a
Oh,
heart
nah.
attack in his sleep. And the scariest part is that I never had the dream again. I found out that I grabbed my boyfriend. Please, my head is pounding. I don't think I can go out tonight, but he just smiled. Don't worry, I'll grab you an Advil. I'm sure it's nothing. He helped me into the car, but my head was absolutely throbbing. I think we need to go to the
They were the hiding
hospital.
gift,
Babe,
Aubrey.
give it a little longer. The ibuprofen hasn't kicked in yet, but I knew it was serious. I just wished he'd looked for me
We're the
once, but
GG
then I noticed
Orlando.
something in front of us. There was something on the overpass, but as we got closer, the windshield smashed. Oh my God! We started swerving, and
They
I
were
kept
670,
screaming.
Maury.
We spun out, crashing into the barrier, and when my boyfriend looked at me, his eyes
We're the
went wide.
GG.
I couldn't see out of my left eye. Is it bad? He looked terrified.
They were the live disco, Sakita. W Sakita with the live disco. Thank you, Sakita. W.
But then it went black. I woke up in the hospital, and everyone was standing around me. They were
Oh,
watching
nah.
the
Thank
TV.
you for the Uncler Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy with the Uncler. Thank you, Tornado Boy. Thank you, bro.
And when I saw up, they gasped. She's awake. Oh my God, she's awake. They hugged me, and I asked where I was, why my head was covered in bandages. But then I noticed the screen. It was someone getting arrested. A young kid threw a rock off the bridge, hitting a car, and it instantly clicked. That car was ours, but my mom was crying and told me I was so lucky. How's your headache, honey? I realized it was gone. She held up an x-ray of a brain. It had a giant tumor on the side. This was in your head, honey. If the doctors didn't see it yesterday, it would have killed you. I
Oh,
grabbed my
nah,
boyfriend.
that's crazy. Thank you for the jamming gift, Josiah. W Josiah with the jamming gift. Thank you, Josiah. Shout out to Max.
My friend's family was about to get deported
W.
because their
Josiah.
court translator was deliberately lying, and I
You're the Flow State Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy. Thank you for the jamming gift, Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy.
was the only
Thank you,
person
bro.
who knew. They were on the stand for their immigration case, and these next few minutes would determine if they would have to leave the country. They didn't speak English
They were the live. Let's go, Tornado Boy. W Tornado Boy, bro.
and only understood Tigrinya, so the court had someone translating. But when the judge asked how long they've been in the country, and the dad said, "We arrived 2 years ago on a work visa in Tigrinya," the translator lied. She turned to the judge and said, "The father says they came here on a tourist visa and never left." The dad smiled and nodded, having no idea what she said was wrong. But since I understood Tigrinya, I leaned forward.
Thank you
The
for the jamming gift, Ryder. W Ryder with the jamming gift. Thank you, bro.
Asked the dad why they let
Holy.
their visa expire, and the dad explained their daughter developed leukemia while here, and doctors said travel could kill her. But again, the translator lied. He says he simply didn't prioritize renewing the visa. I was shocked, watching the judge's face change as he wrote something down. He asked if the dad had made any attempt
You
to
were the
renew
happy poop just
the
saw.
visa, and the dad nodded. He explained in Tigrinya that he went to the office 4 times, but each time they demanded more paperwork and eventually closed his
You were 6'7", Avin. They were the jamming gift, Ryder. W Ryder.
case. The translator looked at the judge and said, he says he never even tried and just hoped he wouldn't get caught. I gripped my armchair so hard my knuckles turned white, because with every lie my friend's family was a step closer to being deported. But then the translator lied again, and I had enough. After the dad explained his daughter is in remission now and calls this country home, and the translator said he admits he has no legal right to stay. He's asking for leniency. I stood up.
You were the
That's not what
GG,
he said.
Sean.
I speak the language and she's mistranslating his answers. The judge told me to sit down, but I held up my phone. Please, let me record his answers on speech translation. If I'm wrong, I'll leave and you can
You
hold
were
me
the
in
2
contempt. The
GGs,
translator
Sean.
went pale and shook her head, but the judge looked at me, then the family, and allowed it. I immediately started talking to the dad in Tigrinya, asking him to
Thank
repeat
you for
all
the
his
$2. Frosty Cools. Shout out to Frosty Cools, bro. Thank you for the $2. Bro, you want
Can I give a
$500 if
shout
you want?
out?
I mean, if you want to give it to me, go ahead. You don't have to, though. Thank you for the $2, Frosty Cool. That would be insane, though. W Frosty Cool with the 2. Thank you, bro.
answers
You were
into
the
my
hiding
phone,
gifts.
So to translate it, the answers instantly lit up. His daughter's leukemia, the 4 visits to immigration. It all contradicted every word the translator had reported. Her face was ghost white and she was sweating. The judge looked at the real answers, banged his gavel, and immediately ordered an investigation into the translator. I hugged my friend's family because they were allowed
They
to
were the
stay,
hiding
and it
gift.
turns out 14 families had been wrongly deported because of the translator. She was
Why is everybody spamming 89? Yo.
getting paid per deportation by a private detention facility. My friend's family was about. A man sat down next to me on the bus and pressed something hard against my pregnant belly. Don't scream and don't move. I tried to catch the bus driver's eyes, but he was watching the road. The old man in the back row was asleep, and the 2 teenagers across the aisle had their earbuds in. He got close and whispered, I only want 3 things from you. He pressed harder against my belly. Give me $100. I told him I
$100. Sorry,
only had
serious.
20, and he laughed so loud the bus driver checked his mirror. He twisted it into my stomach, so I pulled out the crumpled
Oh,
bill
nah.
with shaking hands. He snatched it and shoved it in his jacket pocket. Now your license. I need your address. My fingers could barely grip
Address?
the card, but I managed to pull it out and hand it over.
I
He
would
read
not
my full
give-
name out loud, smiled, and slid it into his jacket next to my 20. Now the final thing. He leaned closer. Say you like me. I said it, and he got
You were
angry.
the hiding
You're
gifts,
lying.
Caitlin.
Say it like you mean it. I said it again with tears running down my face, and he started screaming. You think you're too good for me? The old man in the back woke up. The teenagers pulled
Oh,
out their
nah.
earbuds. The bus driver looked in his mirror, but nobody moved. He leaned into my ear and whispered, if you won't let me be the baby's new father, there won't be
What the hell?
a baby. I felt his finger tighten around the trigger, and I closed my eyes. Click. Nothing
You were the hiding
happened.
gift.
We both froze,
Angie.
staring at each other. I snapped. I swung my purse into his face so hard he stumbled into the aisle. Suddenly, everyone retaliated. One of the teenagers jumped over his seat and tackled him to the floor, while the
Oh,
the other
nah.
one pulled out his phone filming. The bus driver slammed the brakes and radioed for police. I crouched down, reached into the man's jacket pocket, took back my 20 and my license, and walked off the bus with my baby
W.
intact. A man
You were the hiding gifts, Tornado Boy.
A man came up to my restaurant and said, I have a date tonight with a very special lady. He smiled, and a 7-year-old girl stepped out behind him. I thought it was a cute daddy date daughter, but when I came out to refill their waters, the man had a notepad and was asking the girl questions. Do you have any cousins? Tell me what your dad and uncles are like.
You were the hiding
Something
gift,
felt
Tornado
wrong
Boy.
because
You were the
these
happy
weren't
poop,
normal
Angie.
daddy-daughter questions. I walked back and listened closer, and the questions got worse. What's your school's name? Do you walk home, or does someone pick you up? The girl kept
Oh,
answering,
nah.
and he'd just write down, smile too wide, and continue questioning her. He asked, are you ever home alone? And when she nodded, he got this look in his eye and said, I can't wait to play together when you're
That's
home alone.
ISO.
My blood ran cold, and I instantly called police. The girl was still smiling and laughing at his questions when officers burst in. They dragged him out of his chair and
Oh, hell nah.
physically tackled him to the ground. His head hit the floor hard, and I heard something crack. He slurred, what did I do? But an officer cuffed him and yelled, people like you make me sick. The
You
girl
were
tried
hiding
to
of
reach him, but an
Thomas.
officer held her back. I looked over and saw a customer recording the whole thing. The officers picked him up and forcefully dragged him out. I saw blood running down his head from where he hit the ground, and his body seemed limp.
Oh,
the girl
nah.
was at the table, frozen and crying. One of the officers took out her phone and called her mom. I was still processing everything when 5 minutes later, a woman came through the door. She grabbed her daughter and turned around. Which one of you called the police? I stepped forward and said, he was asking her alarming questions. We're glad your daughter is safe. But then she yelled, that's her father. He was in a coma until last week and now doesn't remember his own life.
You're the hiding
He was
gift,
trying
Mac.
to relearn everything about
Oh my god. Yo, there's like a big fly chat. I'm gonna keep the short playing. I think I gotta end
His
stream.
daughter. She showed me photos of them together as a happy family. My face went white as she continued. Now, because of you, the officers split his head open, and doctors are telling me the damage might be permanent this time. He'll never remember anything again. She took her crying daughter and walked out. I realized the man was just trying to get his daughter back, and I had him hospitalized for it. A man came up to my restaurant and said, I have a date tonight.
Okay, I'm back, bro.
My boyfriend forgot me at the airport.
I might have to end the stream. Because I did not expect that, bro.
On Valentine's Day, and I've never had a better time. I was shaking with excitement when I got off the plane. I had taken a leap of faith and decided to book a flight to see my boyfriend of 3 years in person for the first time. I kept imagining him standing there with a cardboard sign with my name on it like you see in the movies. I hugged the present I brought for him to my chest. I stood by the pickup lane for almost 2 hours. He didn't return any of my calls and didn't answer any of my texts. I felt my heart drop into my stomach. Did he really forget about me on Valentine's Day? I took a deep breath and mumbled to myself, Drew is probably working late again. He's been doing that a lot lately. I sent him another text asking where he is. I can't help but start to feel annoyed at the countless couples I see running up to each other, walking hand in hand, or straight making out in the middle of the walk.
Oh, hell no.
I hug the present close to me again.
Guys, before I end the stream, subscribe right now if you want a shout out. Because I probably have to end the stream after this short, maybe.
Wrapped in a brown paper bag that I got from the grocery store, but I decorated it all over in hearts and flowers. It took a long time to be able to get Drew this, and I knew it would be a present he would absolutely love. I even told him I had a gift for him when we talked about me coming to see him.
Shout out to Savannah.
Pretend to doom scroll, but really, I'm staring at my icons and trying my best to keep
It
was difficult to scrape the funds together, but I managed to buy a ticket to come see him, and he knew I was coming because he was the one who encouraged me.
Shout out to Blue Waffle.
In the first place. I checked my messages
Give
again.
her the gold
Still
coin
nothing.
chicken.
I then tried calling Drew one last time. Hello? It wasn't Drew. It was a woman's voice. I'm frozen.
This sad
to the woman. Hello? Hello? Hey hun, someone called you, but I think they have a bad connection. I then hear Drew in the background asking for the name.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Yo.
And when the woman tells him, he frantically tells her to hang up, but I beat her to the punch. It wasn't until my luggage and I were in a luxury hotel room that I finally let myself cry and check my phone. Drew claimed the woman was a cousin. He forgot to pick me up because he'd been busy with work, and he gave me excuse after excuse. I wasn't going to let this trip be a waste of money. I ripped open the present. Inside was $5,000 that I had tirelessly saved, because that was the amount Drew still needed in order to buy the motorcycle of his dreams. Instead, I took it to the casino. I ended up hitting the jackpot and walked out with $100,000 by the end of the night. The next time Drew saw my face, it was in the local paper for being the city's
Yo, I'm
biggest
so
winner
sorry,
ever.
bro. There's like a fly. The biggest fly ever. It's following me, bro. Everywhere I go.
My boyfriend
It follows me.
forgot me at the airport on
Oh,
a stranger
shit. Yo, it's there again. Yo, I might have to end stream. Hold on.
cornered me. Mom, it's me, Emily, your daughter. I can't believe I finally found you. I love you. I stared at her because I didn't have any kids. I think you have the wrong person. She pulled out a birth certificate with my full name printed on the bottom. I was born on March 15th, 2003. You were 17 when you had me and gave me up for adoption. That's not possible. I was in a coma that year and spent weeks in the hospital. But when I looked at her face, I saw the resemblance. The jaw, the eyebrows, even the way she stood with her weight on one foot the same way I did. Suddenly, Emily grabbed my left wrist. You are my mom. You have a scar right there from falling off your bike when you were 15. It's in my adoption file.
Yo, wait.
Your blood type is O
Oh,
negative.
nah.
You're allergic to celery. I've read
What's
it
up,
like 100
Freaky
times.
Billy?
I froze because everything she was saying was correct. How do you know all this? Who told you about me? Emily reached into her bag again, but this time she pulled out a folded piece of paper. Before you gave me up for adoption, you left me this handwritten note in my file. She handed it to me, and it read, I'm so sorry I couldn't
Guys, like up the stream and subscribe, guys.
keep you, but please know
Before
that
I end the stream.
wanted to. Every part of me wanted to. The letters were round and messy, exactly how I used to write in high school, but I still felt like I was reading the note for the first time. 1 second, Emily, I said while picking up my phone to call my mom. Come to the grocery store right now. When she finally arrived, she walked through the doors and froze in the middle of the aisle, staring at Emily like she was terrified. Mom, what's going on? She looked at Emily, then back at me. Do you remember the coma you went into after the car crash in 2003? I nodded.
2003. That's a
Pointed
GGXY.
at Emily. Right before that, you got pregnant and gave birth to Emily. Then you gave her up for adoption. And when you woke up from the coma, the entire year was wiped from your memory. I looked down at the note still in my hand. So I wrote this. You held her for 3 hours before you let her go. Emily stepped forward. She really doesn't remember me? She's not pretending? My mom shook her head. I never told her because I thought she could start over. Emily looked at me. I spent my whole life looking for you because I knew you didn't throw me away. I grabbed her arm as she walked away. I may not remember you, but I'm not letting you go again.
Okay, chat, I'm sorry I gotta end the stream now, but I've been streaming for 2 hours, so I think it's a good time to end the stream. So subscribe right now if you want a shout out before I end it. And also make sure you join my Discord server too. It's in my channel links, like go to my channel description and there will be one link and it will be my Discord server link. So if you have Discord, then join my Discord server too. And subscribe if you want a shout out. But yeah, I gotta go, chat. It's getting pretty late. Shout out to Lorenzo. Shout out to Lemon. Shout out to Angel. Shout out to Ozias. Shout out to Tubers. Shout out to Officer King. Shout out to Adnerva. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to the Croissants. Shout out to Mason. Shout out to Glitch. Shout out to Jace. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Stitch Fan. Shout out to Puddle. Shout out to Grayson. Shout out to Vin. Shout out to Kia. Shout out to Kyson. Shout out to Mad Verity. They were hiding at the VR dog. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Solo Rider. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Drayson. Shout out to KVR. What's up, dude? Alright, chat. Shout out to Kia. Holy, we got a lot of people on the stream. I'm sorry that I have to end it now, but I just have to. Alright, guys? So, yeah. If you didn't get a shout out, I'll give you a shout out on the next stream. Shout out to Trace. But make sure you guys join the next stream. Alright? Just make sure you subscribe so you can get a shout out on the next stream, okay, guys? But I'm going to end it here. And one more thing. Join my Discord server link, guys. It's very easy to do it. Look. Hold on. I never did this before. I'll just do it right now. If you go to my channel right here, there should be a Discord link. You want to click it, and it'll take you to my Discord server, chat. So that's how you join my Discord server, guys. So if you want it, then feel free. Okay, guys? But I'm going to end stream here. Alright, guys? So I hope you guys have a good rest of your night or day. And I'm going to head out now. Alright? Make sure you guys join tomorrow's live stream, okay? I'll be live tomorrow at around the same time. So make sure you join that stream tomorrow. But I'm going to end stream now. And also make sure you join my Discord server in my channel link. Alright? Bye, chat. I'm ending stream. Peace, guys. Peace.